Welcome to another episode of Mind Your Manners podcast. What? Did I say that?
This is part 2 from last night, just
That's
to be sure.
Yes.
We got Sticky Fingers shut the internet down last night.
Too many people.
Yeah.
Too many people wanted to talk to him.
So yeah, we had to do
we
part
did get
2
some
today.
movies, and that's like a huge part of the 80s, right?
Yeah. We gotta finish up with music first.
Well, I'm Chef Tanya Nicole. We had Indo Joe.
Oh, when the
710.
party can start. Oh! I'm sorry.
And here we have Mr. DL,
What up, what up?
director, producer, rapper extraordinaire, podcaster, videographer, ... How's everyone doing tonight?
I know, at a podcast.
It's hot out there. First day that it really felt like spring. And summer is soon here.
It was really muggy.
Yeah, it really was. I had the humidifier on all day.
Mm-hmm.
What's everyone doing? Are you guys out of work? Have you just been at home literally quarantines?
Should be over,
Are you
right?
excited about this part 2? I know I am. The 80s movies is
See,
really...
that's what I like all the shit we talked about last episode. I could give a fuck less. Movies or what? Like that's what I think of when I think of 80s. I think of movies. You know what I mean? And like I was so ready to talk about it, but even if we kept going, it would have ended up 4 hours.
It would have been
It was too long. We don't want to hurt you people, you know, looking at my ugly mug the whole time, you know.
Yeah.
2
I know
hours
you
is
like
long
us.
enough.
I know you like us, but not that much.
You turn into stoner after 4 hours.
Yeah. Even for an 80s aficionado. You gotta take a break sometime.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll do even more episodes later on.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much to talk about.
We'll do drama for your mama.
So
What happened last night
Uh-oh.
is, if you're watching on Facebook, shout out to everybody. If you're watching on YouTube, shout out to everybody. Last night, we had Sticky Fingers on for our All Things 80s episode. We saved the music for him. We weren't sure what time he was going to call in, so we were either was going to be movies last or music last. We just weren't sure. It was on the fly. He called in, and we crashed on YouTube. So instead of going live again and starting over from scratch, we decided, you know what? That was dope. We're going to continue with a part 2 of All Things 80s. So tonight we're going to finish with music, and then the rest of it will just be all movies. So if you were an 80s kid, or just love 80s movies, 80s music, this is going to be a good time. That's pretty much all we're going to be talking about tonight. We got Chef Tanya Nicole, Medical Edibles.
what up?
We got Indo Joe from the Weekend Warriors.
Yep.
And we got Mr. DL from right in front of you.
As you can see, we all dressed up in 80s themes.
I kind of did. I got a. Oh, I didn't know that was still in there.
What?
Oh, my Mario mustache. I didn't know that.
It's me.
I didn't know that was still
It's
in
the
there.
Mario.
So let's just get into this music. Let's just finish the music because all we really did was list names.
Yeah.
Because Sticky was talking and we were
I
just
found
kind of
some names I wanted to blast up.
we were still talking. I wanted to talk about DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
I got that on here, right here.
I have an autographed CD up here of that, but I looked on the back. It's 1991, so I didn't.
Ooh, you didn't want to front.
Yeah, I didn't bring it out.
Yeah. Try that. Ooh.
Shout out to Wally in the chat. 3 stories, Wally. So
Shout
for
out
DJ
Wally.
Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, I thought they were cool. Everyone thinks a rapper's got to be super tough and hardcore and all that shit, and those guys were just themselves.
Yep.
It was
fun music.
It was fun music, yeah. Like even back before it was like dance music, it was
Nothing
fun
wrong
music.
with fun music.
Nightmare on My Street, Parents Just Don't
Yeah.
Understand. I think Summertime was 90s, but those first 2 records were 100% 80s. But DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, those were my favorite. Not my favorite, but those were one of my favorite rappers of the time. Run DMC was my favorite rap group. Easy. There wasn't a question of that.
Slick Rick.
Oh shit. C-Town John, let me go throw my starter jacket on. You might need to, man. Might have to go to Kmart and buy one now, though. Because that's where they sell them now.
Oh, yeah?
So here's some other names that I really loved in the 80s. Actually, no, let me go with you. Let's pretend like we didn't do the 80s last night with Sticky Fingers and start. 80s. What's 80s to you for music?
Well, I don't know if you guys know about this, but my first concert ever was
I know.
the Latin sensation Menudo.
Menudo?
Menudo.
Oh god.
Down mi
Oh,
moto.
God. Ricky
So, you
Henderson,
know,
right now. Ricky Martin.
Think and Sync 80s style. All
Oh,
Latin boys. All
It was-
oiled up.
And then you make fun of me for liking New Kids on the Block.
No, I didn't make fun of you. I just thought it
Yeah.
was interesting.
New Kids
but-
on the Block was my first concert.
Yeah.
Okay, but that wasn't that 90s?
That was 80s.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Kids on the Block was in the 80s.
Listen, I was living in La Isla at one point, and I missed the boat on NKO TV until I came back. And then I was already like in high school. So, or in junior high school. I don't remember. But yeah,
God, that's so
Menudo.
terrible.
And I had the record.
Okay.
And I specifically remember one of the albums was all of them like posing, laying down with these clear raincoats that were all like neon colors. And again, they were all oiled up.
Oh, that's why you like them.
Yeah, but you know, again, I remember first episode I said we had record players, so I had records. So I used to play Menudo. Juvia, Juvia, I go eat.
Now, who was in that? Say it again. The famous person.
Ricky Martin was in
Ricky
there.
Martin, that was it.
Ricky Martin was in
Ricky
there.
Henderson.
That's right. That's right. I saw him first. All you ladies that thought you, oh yeah, I know Ricky Martin, General Hospital, whatever soap opera he was. No, Menudo.
So you
was
was
like a
on.
kid.
You
He
was
was
on
like
Ricky Martin. I was on Ricky Henderson.
Word. So that was like my big 80s group. Also, I said it yesterday, Olivia Newton-John,
Mhm.
Tina Turner,
Yeah.
Madonna. Who wasn't into Madonna?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Madonna on my list.
And you-
Yeah.
And of course, the original Michael Jackson. When he was still
that's the
looking
first
like
one
me.
on my list.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he dominated the 80s.
He was doing it. He was doing
Yeah,
it.
Michael Jackson's not even the first one on my list. The one on my list is Thriller.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
yeah.
not even Michael
It's
Jackson.
not even him. That album made.
But didn't Back come out in the 80s too?
Yep.
Yeah, so like that's what I'm saying, he dominated the 80s.
Yeah. I think Madonna, like big artists
Heal
of
the
the
World?
80s.
That Heal the World shit.
Madonna, Michael Jackson. Who would you say is up there
Janet.
with them?
Janet Jackson. Want me to blast off some?
I don't know.
Hold on, if
Janet
you're watching,
Jackson was-
if you're watching on Facebook, I'm about to share the link in the chat to watch it on YouTube, so you can see the full show.
You can see my
He's
dumbass.
about to knock me out.
Join the chat. It's over there on YouTube. Go there, like, subscribe, all that stuff. So go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Joe, oh wait, Joe was there.
No, I'm
Yeah,
good.
who you got next, Joe? What's the
I
next person?
got
we got?
okay, obviously Bobby Brown.
All right, don't go too many. We got Bobby Brown. That was 80s, yeah, new edition, all day.
Yep. Huey Lewis in the news. You motherfucker.
Are you guys seeing this? I don't lie. I don't lie.
I get it.
What?
Huey Lewis in the news.
Oh my God. I do that. What's that hit song? I know who they are, but I just forget it.
Well, I remember them from the Back to the Future soundtrack.
Oh,
For the
okay.
most. Stevie Wonder, Cool in the Gang. Cool in the Gang.
Keep
was
going,
the
baby.
80s.
Give me some more
Oh,
titles.
oh.
No, you're good.
I didn't know I was all up
No,
in
no,
it.
you're not.
What about what's this guy? George. Thank
Boy
you.
George. Oh, geez.
Oh, how could I forget? I'm so sorry,
Oh,
Miss
yeah.
Cyndi Lauper. Girls
Yeah.
just wanna
Yeah.
have fun.
Lionel Richie.
Lionel
Girls
Richie.
just wanna
The weird ass
have
You see, like a
mustache.
Sunday morning.
I think my first
That's a
talent
good
show
joint.
dance was to Cyndi Lauper. Girls just wanna have fun. With my sister. Shout out to Santa Maria in the Bronx.
Oh shit, the busy, bro.
What's up?
What were they? I said yesterday, the only Police I like was the band. You know what I mean?
Duran
The Police was
Duran.
dope though, man. You know, you can't front Sting was dope,
Oh,
man.
my favorite, I think it's the first video on MTV. I never can remember the damn band.
Shout out to everybody watching on Facebook. Make sure you go to YouTube and watch. We're gonna have some giveaways. We're gonna give away some weed. We're gonna give away some art. We're gonna give away some of these roaches. If you want any roaches, if you're really struggling, we'll give these away because we don't smoke this shit.
That shit is gross as hell, man.
Hey, to each his home, but
What else? Wait, I
at
got
least
Billy
no-
Joel.
I
Billy
don't
Joel.
get to know.
Billy Joel. Okay, that's what I was saying yesterday, but I got cut up from Sticky. Billy Joel and Phil Collins were talented musicians and were fugly. You know what I mean? Straight up, dude. Like they were people that like it didn't care what they looked like. They were like it was talent. You know what I mean? Like and then like we were saying, Whitney Houston came along and was not only talent but was smoking hot and just started that whole new genre of you gotta be hot and talented, or more or less hot, because there's a lot of untalented musicians out there that are famous because they're hot. You know what I mean? Shit, man. I bought fucking Little Kim's fucking poster
There
with her
she goes.
all spread open like that, man. She wasn't good.
Oh, she was so hot.
Tina Turner?
I was looking through the
wait,
vinyls. I was looking through the
God,
vinyls.
that's what I'm saying, man. She's smoking.
I was looking through the vinyls to find the Whitney Houston record, but there was just too many.
Even the one where she's bald. She's still hot, dude.
That's the one I was looking for.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
shout out to Jason in the chat, Joseph, Cheech, David. Shout out to you guys, man. I hope you guys go over to YouTube and watch it over there. But if you're gonna stay here, we love you, man. That's awesome. Whitney Houston, it was like, oh my God, she was so pretty.
This video was the bomb. I
was-
want to dance with somebody.
She's pretty local right now, but she was good in the 80s and she was hot in the 80s. Paula Abdul.
Oh.
Paula Abdul was. I had a super crush on her. I was like, this chick
When
looks
she
like
was-
she smells, and I want to smell it.
When she was dancing with the cat.
Yeah.
I'm forever your girl.
Shout out to Luke in the chat.
Who else did we get? Billy Idol. Billy Idol was huge.
I know Billy Idol. I don't really know.
Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi.
Def Leppard.
Def Leppard, yeah.
Right? That was 80s?
Excuse me. Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Shout out to everybody in the
I
chat.
didn't listen to a lot
ZZ
of...
Top. I mean, they've been around for a while.
No, but they were big in the 80s. You're right.
ZZ
I
Top. I
didn't
love their
listen to
hair.
a lot of rock and Prince. Who else? Prince, man. I mean, I'll still bump
Sheena
Prince right
E,
now.
right? Or that was more 90s, actually.
But like Purple Rain comes on, I'm like, damn, man.
Shout out to Slane, one of the
What up,
dopest.
Slane?
Why did you stein in today? I was wearing your shirt yesterday on the podcast, but it's all good.
That's okay.
Shout out to Chris Houston. That's what's up.
What else call it today?
We'll have Slane call in one day. He might like it. All right, so that's cool. Whitney Houston, the 80s to me.
Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder.
I can't front, man. I like the New Kids on the Block.
Yeah,
I can't front. Like
I did
it
too.
is what it is. I like
too.
I like New Edition. New Edition was actually my shit. New Edition. I played the hell out of some New Edition.
Your sister did.
Also related to music, when New Edition and all that, a lot of the dancing in the 80s, especially like the breakdancing.
Breakdancing, like pretty much, it didn't start, but it was like huge in the 80s.
Did you breakdance, Mr. DL, or you were just a smooth operation?
Breakdance, not really, but I did dance like the Running Man, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I didn't breakdance though, really.
Me too.
I
ran in place and thought I was so cool.
But no, I wasn't a breakdancer. But I was a dancer, but just not a breakdancer.
What other groups or music?
Public Enemy.
What was this? I said about Slick Rick. So Slick Rick was the
True.
first rapper that I listened to that, like, I don't know if like this makes any sense, but like you're listening to him rap and you could see his words.
Yeah, yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like you could see what he's like. He was the first person I was like, I am listening to him with the headphones on, and I'm watching a story in my head that he's like just like they call it painting a picture in your head. Like he would paint these illest pictures. Like you're just like, holy fuck, dude. This is why they call him the storyteller. You know what I mean?
If you missed it yesterday, Sticky Fingers called in and we asked him, who was your inspiration? Who inspired you to rap? And Slick Rick was one of his three answers.
Yeah, Big Daddy.
And then he spit his first verse ever, and you can only hear that on Mind Your Manners. And that was an 80s verse when his name was Tropical. So if you missed that, shout out to Hectic in the chat. If you missed that, you got to go back and watch that. Shout out to Drama in the chat. Hectic is saying some good names. He says Sade, Perfect Gentleman. I don't know them. Lisa.
Yep.
Shout out to KJ.
Blondie.
If you ever buy anything from Apple,
Oh, she's on. That's her guy she's stalking.
Blondie. It was Blondie. They consider Blondie one of the first rappers, like a white rapper. You know?
Can you give me a jar of weed? Blondie, I know who she is. I never listened to her.
Yes, Blondie. I just wanted to be,
Shout out to Jules Fast Life.
She wants to get the views.
no, I wanted to be in the chat, but I can't. Sorry.
Shout out to Eric. If you're watching on Facebook, that's cool, but the real show's on YouTube. You can see the whole studio.
I guess I'll go on my phone, but I wanted to be engaged and be able to see what people are saying.
You are engaged.
So I just wanted to say other names. Rick Rubin. If it wasn't for Rick Rubin,
We wouldn't have
rap wouldn't be what it is right now.
It would just be non-stop.
People would
verses.
just be rapping for 13 minutes about what they ate for dinner. And, you know, that's cool, I guess, but... And another one everyone hates on when they make fun of him. But MC Hammer fucking ran the 90s.
Hell, motherfucking yeah. That's
From
that's
the
one of
Addams
first-
Family Jam or whatever it was called.
I had to
To
take the jam.
Too Legit to Quit.
We've
To
got to pray.
Let's
Pray.
see.
And obviously you can't touch this.
3 Stories Wally says License to Ill 86.
License
And
to Ill,
Third
yeah. Beastie
Base.
Boys, baby.
We got Beastie Boys art. I'm not sure if you can see it. I'm gonna check if you can
That was
see
my
it.
90s bands too.
You can't see it on
Yeah,
Facebook.
absolutely.
And that's them in the 80s, too.
Let me
That's
go through
Third
my
base, someone threw in
starter
third
jacket
base.
on.
Third base, holy shit.
MC Search always kind of drove me nuts. You can't see
You know,
the.
I liked third base back then, but like you said, like once you see interviews with MC Search, you're like, this guy's a dickhead.
Yeah, he's kind of a douche.
You know what I mean? Like,
he's like the most entitled person to ever rap. And I'm
Yes.
like, cool, dude.
he's like,
You-
yo,
you
I'm
became-
before Eminem.
You became popular when 9 people rapped. Good
Yeah.
for you.
Mm.
So, third base, Pop the Weasel. Okay, cool. What else you got? Nothing? Cool.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
You were
And-
still rapping that song at your shows.
NWA, you know how I feel about Ice Cube. No one's fucking with him. Ice Cube's been rapping since the 80s. Doper than people are rapping right now.
Absolutely.
You put on his verses, like the beats are dated, but his voice and his flow is like it's hard.
Perfect.
It's just yeah. No.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Another person who people forget was huge in the 80s.
Easy.
That everyone's that thinks of her for being a 70s artist was Tina Turner.
No, I said it, Tina Turner.
Yeah,
I
you
love
said it.
her.
Yeah.
I
Them motherfucking
wanted
legs that
my
started her neck.
name changed to Tina, like legit. Like I thought Tanya was just like.
Played out. She wanted
Mom.
to be Tina Tanya.
I was like, I know you want like all these Russian names, but really couldn't it be called Tatiana? And that's what Tina Turner. She was dark like me. She had that crazy hair. That I was jealous of her hair. She had amazing
Yeah,
legs,
she's like
and
70
she could
right
sing.
now, and she's still hot.
Yeah, she's
I would
hot.
still like wrap my face right around those legs.
He's rapping it.
Fucking Mow myself to sleep.
He said it.
Shout out to Sun B.
What's up, B?
What up, son?
We said it yesterday. Someone's in the chat. Hectic's in the chat saying Prince.
Hey, Prince, baby.
We said it yesterday. Sticky could say what he wants, but Sticky told me that his favorite artist was Prince.
Yeah, Prince.
And yesterday
is
we brought
shit,
it up.
man.
Yesterday we brought it up, and he was acting like he didn't say it,
Yeah,
but he
yeah,
said it.
You put him on the spot.
Well, we got 3 stories. Wally says also Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah,
Big Daddy Kane. That Sticky said that was one of his inspirations
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I
He
mean,
said, I want you to
Prince
watch.
used to play basketball with his purple crushed velvet suit, right?
I want you to watch the episode, but I'll give you a sneak peek. In the episode, Sticky Fingers says he was inspired by Slick Rick, Big Daddy Kane, and Rakim. I won't tell you the 4th one, so you can go watch the episode.
It's like Prince and Elton John were like the Dennis Rodmans of music for that time. They just did whatever the fuck they want. when it
Post in the
came to,
comment
like,
what the 4th one is right now.
what
You
they
win a
were
prize.
wearing, what they were doing.
Right, there you go. You win a blunt pin.
If you know what the 4th one is, tell us in one of the chats, whatever site you're on.
I missed the question. The 4th one of what?
You can't answer.
Of Sticky's inspiration.
Oh, okay.
Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Slick Rick. What was the 4th one?
What was the 4th one? That's a good one. But I thought overall, people are gonna get mad at me, but I thought overall the 80s music was kind of cheesy.
Yeah, me too.
Like there were even the rap songs. There's like
you know what?
if you made a rap compilation, there's maybe 2 to 3 discs total
Yeah,
from
yeah.
hits from dope songs from the 80s.
See, that's what I
Okay,
was gonna
maybe
say.
cheesy, but definitely lots of iconic
Yeah, musicians.
songs,
Yeah,
musicians, people that went through the 80s and came out to the 90s.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
there was good music, good lyrics. I think the electronic sound is really dated. They used a lot of electronic keyboards and just like that was the style, like the key guitar, whatever the fuck it is.
A
Like,
lot of cowbell.
you know, yeah, exactly. Yeah, more cowbell.
more cowbell.
Less cowbell. I made a good point in my head the other day.
In my head.
Something happened from the year 1989 to the year 1991 with rap, where in 2 years
It
just became such amazing thing.
so better.
You know, it was cool in the 80s. Yeah, there was dope rappers, but like I don't know.
People took Rakim's style and advanced it. Who else was spitting like
Coogee
that?
rap.
Yeah, that's true.
But also, it was really
Yeah,
the
Coogee rap.
era
Coogee
of
rap is Coogee
music
rap.
and movies together.
Coogee rap and Ice, like people. It depends on where you live. If you live on this side of Mississippi River, you'll be like Coogee rap
rap.
invented gangster
What's
rap.
that? What's that?
Coogee rap invented gangster rap. If you live on that side of Mississippi River, you'll be like NWA
Ice
created
Cube.
gangster rap.
Yeah.
Like Ice Cube, like they're at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same
Yeah.
time. And Ice Cube, they were just, I'm not talking about skill or anything, but they were just on a bigger level
Yeah.
than Coogee rap. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
he was just
yeah.
on a bigger level.
See, that was
is what it is.
They knew how to market themselves better. Coogee Rap didn't. You know, and nothing against Coogee Rap, he just didn't write a hit song that he could continue. Like we were just saying, this guy that you know what I mean? Like Rob Bass. Name another song by Rob Bass, but you know his song. You know what I mean? He probably can go do a show right now off that song.
All right, people in the chat talking about how I hate KRS-One.
I didn't bring him up because of that.
Let me tell you something. Everyone thinks I don't think KRS-One is a strong lyricist. I don't. I never did ever.
Yeah.
But I do 100% appreciate and respect his contribution to the game, and that he's a legend and he's an icon. I'm never gonna say that he's not. I just don't think he's dope. Like, you know, sorry that's, and you guys are you're gonna laugh in a couple days. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna laugh. I can't even tell you.
I laughed earlier.
I can't even tell you why you're gonna laugh.
It's a secret, but
But in 2 days, you're gonna laugh and you're gonna call me out on something.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm going to completely blow your mind. After
you're gonna wait.
After you watch something,
You're gonna
and then you're gonna be like, meh, 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 meh. And I'm gonna be like, hold on, but now rewatch it.
Did anybody get the question right?
Let me check in the chat. Sunbee's saying I hate KRS-One, but then I just explained that.
I'm with him.
He says Chris Houston in the chat says, damn, I didn't know. I just figured he said the other person Sticky Fingers said was his favorite. I don't know what you're talking about. I kind of understand what you're talking about, Chris, but I didn't really get that one. No, Sunbee. I only said that. Oh, no, I can't tell you. You gotta go. If you want to win, you gotta go. I'm not gonna say.
Nobody got it?
I don't know. I didn't go to YouTube yet. Let us know in the chat though who your favorite artist was. Oh my God, Wally in the chat. That's a good answer. The Fat Boys.
Oh yeah, that was on my
I used
list.
I used to have a Fat
Boys
Boys tape.
That's why I heard the Fat Boys and was like, yo, I gotta learn how to beatbox. I'm doing that shit ever since.
Dramatic says in the chat, KRS-One sucks. I was like, okay, cool. Damaged Beats
Okay, cool.
says, fuck that guy. Yes, I'm with Damaged Beats. And someone, Rao said, KRS-One changed the flow with my philosophy. I'm not saying he didn't do his thing. Like I said, I'm not saying he didn't do his thing. I just don't think he was dope.
Yeah,
and here comes my hate rant. Ready? He was never the best rapper when 5 people rapped. 1. He was never the best rapper from his city. He was, you know what I'm saying? But he will tell you, for the last 35 fucking years, every time he sees one person, he will tell you, I'm the greatest thing that ever touched a microphone. I'm this, I'm that. Bro, you rhymed cat with bat, and because of the time you came out, people will give you a lifetime pass for mediocre lyrics. Boom,
Dude,
and my rant is over.
Come on, cat and bat and rap? That's bars right there.
Shout out to Drama in the chat. He didn't really say he sucked. He says he's the GOAT. So I was just,
I was agreeing with him.
He'll be very upset.
Joe was agreeing with Drama. He's like, oh yeah, Drama, yeah.
That guy sucks, man.
Uh-oh.
Mind your manners.
Drama for your mama.
He says, they say in the chat, you bugging. Illest bars from the Bronx. Dude, Big Pun would wrap so many circles around this guy. It's not even they're not even on the same level as lyricism. Like it's just like it's not even on the same level.
I'm not saying I'm number 1. Oh, I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bomb ass lyrics, bro. Bomb ass lyrics.
That's his most memorable bar. That's his most memorable bar. I don't want to even dwell on him. I'm not even here to hate on him. I'll do a whole podcast about that if you guys want. And I'll call it KRS-One is overrated, and we'll see who comes in and how many thumbs down I get. But I don't care. I'm just keeping it real. It's the same people who tell you KRS-One's the best rapper are the same people who think Larry Bird could beat LeBron James in a basketball game. Because Larry Bird played when I was a kid, and that's when I was most impressionable. KRS-One rap when I was a kid, and that's when I was most impressionable. So anyway, sorry. Bring something up.
It's just like anything. Like when you say, "Oh, our toys used to be better in when we grew up," or our clothes. It's anything. You're just nostalgic about it. So anything from that time is gonna be
anything.
Like you
I'm
don't want people to
nostalgic
talk
about
shit
the
about.
80s, but I told you I hate the fashion. Man, there's things I hate about
I loved
the
it.
80s.
All bright colors. Bring them on.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's like what we're gonna get into the movies. Like, if I had to grab a handful of movies that like, hey, you're going on an island for the rest of your life. These are the movies you're grabbing. Honestly, I'd say 3 out of the 5 that I'm grabbing are from the 80s. You know what I mean? And 3 of them are right there. I'm like, can I grab trilogies? Because I'm grabbing Back to the Future, Indiana Jones, and Star Wars. I'm taking those 3 trilogies. You know what I mean?
So we're done with music? Yeah? I think we're good, right?
Yeah, I'm done with music. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What do you think? You good with it?
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's so many we didn't talk about, but I'm not scared.
I'm not scared either.
I don't think you can touch that because your phone might be leaning on it.
Oh, okay, sir.
No, I'm just thinking.
Tell me how to use my phone.
mentioned
Probably
everybody I
knows
wanted
better
to.
than me, actually.
I think we'll go with the music. I just wanted to finish because yesterday when Sticky was here, We started talking about it. Then there was a couple technical difficulties. Then YouTube went down. So I'm just like, you know what? Let's finish the 80s so it's not on our mind. And we go, oh, we got to do the music. We never did it. And now I think we're good.
The movies are
We're going to go into the movies. Shout out to Scott in the chat. What up, though?
Okay, before we get into the list, there are a lot of 80 movies that you could watch right now, and they're really good. If you never saw them, you'd be like, man, this is a good movie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there is a lot of terrible movies that are terrible, dude. Even though, like, I rewatched movies from the 80s that I was like, man, I loved this movie as a kid. And I rewatched it and go, I shouldn't have watched that because I fucking hate it. That is goofy as shit. Like, don't get me wrong. I love the Goonies, okay? Absolutely love the Goonies.
Let's start there. Hold on.
Yeah, hold on.
You gonna go
Hold
there?
on, we're going to get into the Goonies in a second. You're watching Mind Your Manners podcast. If you're watching on Facebook, please go to YouTube.
YouTube!
I will supply the link in the chat right now. Boom, right there. If you're watching on YouTube, please comment, like, and subscribe. Share it if you want. Everything helps us. All the interactions help us.
They help.
Here.
The Goon ones.
So here we go. We're talking about the Goonies.
The Goonies, man. Come on, like, okay.
Look at that cast.
I wanted to be a Goonie. Like, I'll still, like, if they were like, yo, there's a whole initiation to be a Goonies. I'd be like, yo, where do I sign up? They're like, yo, nobody over 15, dude. I'd be like, I'm 16. I'm saying, can I please sign up? You know what I mean? But I rewatched the movie, and it's like, there's a part where they're holding hands skipping. And I'm like, holy shit.
Damage Beats is in the chat. He says, I want to move to that town. I actually
That sounds dope. You know what's fucked up about that? The people that own that house sold it because of how many people would come to take pictures and do the truffle shuffle in front of it.
They
filmed do the truffle shuffle.
They filmed it in Oregon and they filmed it in Humboldt County. And the Humboldt County one, I took her to it. We took a bunch of photos
Sonoma
there.
County
No,
too.
a different one.
Sonoma County, yeah.
The first time you went LA for us?
No.
We went to the One Eye Willie spot.
Okay, well, we went to a different one.
Okay. We went to the one I spoke when he's holding up the coin, and he sees
the map.
Yeah, no, he sees the islands, the rocks.
Yeah.
We went to that with LA Fresh.
Okay, well, I took her, I had never been before. It was my first time. There's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, well, the part where the ship comes out, that's in Humboldt County at the end there.
Yeah, like a lot of the cast actually from.
They're big stars now.
So I actually researched this because I love this movie so much. So everybody knows Sean Astin right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Josh
as
Brolin.
recently as Stranger Things, Lord of the Rings, right? Rudy.
I mean, potatoes.
Okay.
Boil them, mash them, put them in a stew.
Then you have, of course, our friend here, Corey Feldman, who is also an 80s star.
Mm-hmm.
Went on to do a lot of movies with Corey Haines, the two Corys.
Well, and then made weird documentaries that didn't give any information about childhood.
Yeah. And
it's
also
crazy because Michael Jackson was
plays
on set
music.
for this movie.
He's very into his music. So then, I forgot his actual name,
Josh
but
Brolin?
it's Data.
Oh yeah.
So
He was Indiana Jones,
he
right?
was
He was
Indiana
Short Run.
Jones.
Short Run.
And then
That was his first movie, Short Run.
and Jeff Cohen.
And Steven Spielberg.
No, that's Chuck. Jeff Cohen is Chuck.
Steven Spielberg directed both of them.
Yeah, and he is actually a stunt coordinator, which I thought was funny because in this movie, yeah, look, I got some Absolute, I got some Fireball, and then she didn't really do much, but hello, Josh Brolin, hello, thank you, sir.
Well, put it this way, Josh
again.
Brolin was big in the 80s as a
well.
kid star, and then he kind of more or less disappeared through the 90s, but then he made this huge comeback, okay, with this guy's favorite movie of all time, No Country for Old Men.
Yes.
Didn't come out in the 80s, but we can talk about it really quick. If you haven't seen that movie, there's something wrong with you because you're missing cinematic genius. You know what I mean?
Like Josh Brolin did it.
We got some good ones coming in the chat, Wally.
And Josh Brolin, like if you watch like behind the scenes shit about it, like he tried so hard for that role. Like he kept auditioning. They were like, no, we don't want you. And he kept showing up. Was like, I'll try it hard. He made them give him that role. And he fucking killed it, dude. There's nothing wrong with that movie. That's what I would say to people.
What were you saying about Josh Brolin?
No, so he blew up, and then like also his dad was an actor. And was an actor. In the early days too. Then we have Steph, who she's been like on a lot of shows like Law and Order, and she's on like that show. What's called like The Real O'Neills or something. Like she's been on a couple of shows as an adult actress.
What, the chick with the glasses?
Yeah, the chick with the glasses.
Yeah,
like she's been in a bunch of stuff. And then Chunk, he's like he's like thin.
Yeah,
like
he lost a lot of it.
He's an entertainment lawyer, which makes sense.
He got sick of people coming up to him going, "Do the trouble shovel."
Exactly.
Do the trouble shovel.
And then I found the most interesting thing I found was about
Sloth.
Sloth. So he was one of the gangster. He was like the black sheep of the gangster family that locked him up in the fridge, right? So Chuck gets locked in the fridge with him and makes friends because he has a baby Ruth, right? So this guy was actually an NFL player.
Oh, no shit.
2 Super Bowl wins. He was a first round, all around draft pick.
Did he
like
never lost in the
72?
Super Bowl? He's the GOAT, he never lost!
No, and then apparently he had some like
Looks like a goat.
tragic death. Like he like did a lot of like movies, I guess.
Mm.
But then like right when he became big after this, like 2 years later, he passed away.
Oh, that's
So every year they do like this bike run in Milwaukee.
Oh, that's cool.
I think they're like on to like number.
Excuse me.
Well, I don't know about this year, but
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
like 7 or 8. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But like everybody remembers this guy. Nobody remembers who he is. I don't think.
Yeah. Well,
But
I mean, he wore
everybody
prosthetics
remembers.
in the movie, so.
Yeah.
We got some nice ones coming in the chat.
All right,
We're
let's see
gonna
what people
hold them.
saying in the
We're gonna
chat.
hold them out. We're gonna hold them out just in case.
Okay.
But we got to shout to Indo. Indo is the man coming from Scott.
Absolutely.
Santos.
So, whatever.
Very talented artist, graffiti, drawer, painter, like
Everything.
name it.
I do it all.
Make shit out of air. The
I do it
MacGyver
all.
of art.
I make props. I make
What else?
wardrobes. I make everything.
What else you got for Goonies?
Oh,
Ah, the Goonies, dude.
I mean, we could go
I just
all
wanted
day.
to,
I just
like
that's just
Dana,
the
when he
stuff
had all
I-
those gadgets on him. I thought I was the shit when I was a kid. I was like, man, I need to find myself a trench coat. I need to make like. Has anybody got a punchy glove so I can make one of those springy things that come out and punch people in the face?
You know
dude?
what? Maybe they made Go-Go Gadget after Data.
I was a
think...
fucking nerd in the 80s, dude. And a lot of it was because of my movies that I watched. I was a fucking nerd, and I thought the nerds were cool, so I was like, oh yeah, I'll be the nerd, dude.
A lot of sci-fi
like,
movies.
Yeah, exactly. I was into all that shit, and like, it was like, you got made fun of. You were like, oh, you watch Star Wars, you fucking nerd. You know what I mean? And nowadays it's like, chicks that are smoking hot pens are wearing Star Wars shirts
yeah.
half naked, and I'm like...
Hot chicks, a lot of them love
And
nerds.
a lot of them
They
know
like
it.
them.
They know the lore. They know. I'm just like, man, I grew up in the wrong goddamn fucking century. I mean, a decade, whatever. You know what I mean? I grew up fucking.
Get yourself a young woman.
Yeah.
It's the in thing
No,
to do.
no, young woman.
I said young. I didn't mean baby.
No, yeah, but I've been younger, and I don't like.
She has to be from the 80s.
Yeah, exactly.
So someone who's
100% what he
30,
said.
30.
I make too many 80s references that go over people's heads that weren't in
Right.
the 80s, you know? Like I work with my homie at work. I always forget he was born in 94, and I always make an 80s reference. And he's like, and I'm like,
You don't know.
you don't know what I'm talking about, do you? And he's like, no. It's just like, I forget you weren't born in the 80s, dude, you know what I mean?
But I think also depends on the parents, because I have a lot of friends of like different
Mm-hmm.
ages, and like a lot of them I'm surprised, like, how do you know that?
Yeah.
And they like grew up with their parents.
My
grew
other
up
buddy
with,
at work says it all
you
the
know.
time because my mom, like, I didn't want to say when we were talking about the TV shows, but I watched the Brady Bunch a lot through the 80s.
Yeah, I did
My
too.
mom loved all those 70s shows, and we would watch those reruns. So I'll be talking with my buddy Nick at work, who's he's like a little a few years older than me, but he was actually a teenager in the 80s, so he knows all this shit. So, but he'll talk about shows, and I'll drop some knowledge. He's like, how the fuck do you know that? And I'm like, yeah, my parents watched the older shit. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
What about you, Mr. DL?
What's the question? Marijuana affects memory? What was the question?
No, you can pick a movie, right?
Yeah, pick a movie.
Next
From
movie.
the 80s? The next 80s movie. What do you got on here? Let me see.
Dude, I got a list, bro.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Don't say nothing on your list. I want to have something we can show.
I have 2 lists.
All right. I'm going to talk about the next one. Because he was talking about...
Motherfucker.
He was talking about
Look, this
like
list
acting out, like
easier.
thinking he was this character or that character. I did that with He-Man, but we're not talking about cartoons. I did that with fucking Rambo.
Oh, yeah. First Blood.
Yeah.
I did that with Rambo.
First Blood.
And
Alright.
that's
Yeah.
I wanted to shout out
That one
someone
was
in the
not
chat.
on my list, so I'll look that up.
That's all mine.
3 Stories Wally. Shout out Rambo. I just didn't want to say it when he said
First
that.
Blood. It's called First Blood, bro. Not Rambo.
Joe said,
But-
I know about movies, like I said.
It came out in 1982, the year I was born, bro.
It's a good movie. So that's
This is another movie, like I was saying earlier, that's an 80s movie that you can watch right now, and it's not a bad movie. It's still filmed
It's
really
alone.
well. It's still, the dialogue's pretty good.
This
You know what I
is-
mean? The action's awesome.
It's
The story's great, dude. You know what I mean? You're on his side. You're like, why don't they just let him walk through the fucking town?
All right. So The second Rambo, the one where he's in the jungle, that was my favorite movie.
When he's shredded.
When he jumps off the boat into the water and the boat explodes.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I was on a diving board until I was like 8 years old, 9 years old, that's what I did. I pretended like I was Rambo diving into the jungle river.
You remember in Rambo 2 when he got all shredded? Yeah, that's what you look like.
You like Julienne salad, man. You most shredded him in Julienne salad, man. Oh my gosh. Shout out to Steven in the chat. Tommy, what's up? Sun B has a good one. We're gonna get to that, Sun B. I just don't want to jump ahead. But Rambo, man. Rambo isn't my favorite. I'll tell you my favorite. Action movie of the 80s was Predator, hands down.
Okay.
Predator is still a good movie if you watch it right now. The first Predator is better than all of the Predators.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're all pretty good. Like, they're all watchable.
100%.
But the first Predator is better than all of them. And I'm never the guy who says, oh, the old movies are better than the new movies.
But it is.
But that movie is better than the first one.
It's better than all of them.
Dramatic in the chat says Predator still holds up. It does, man. It does. It's a dope movie, man.
Schwarzenegger was dominating the 80s.
I ain't got time to bleed, man. Did you ever see Predator?
I saw it, but like obviously it didn't affect me like it affected you.
It's good. Like, I'm surprised because you love action movies. But it's scary. She doesn't like scary movies. It's not scary to
It's
me.
not really scary.
It's a scary
It's
one.
more like a bloody movie. But I seen Poltergeist. I mean, that scared the shit out of me. But
I don't know. I think it could go into horror. I think Predator could fall into action horror.
I wasn't be on like. Not that I didn't like watching his stuff, but like I wasn't like, oh my god, he's so fine.
Yeah. More people get killed in Predator than get killed in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
I watch all the Nightmares on Elm Street.
It's action
Don't
sci-fi.
fuck with Freddy Krueger.
Because he's an alien.
Yeah, true.
You know?
But yeah. What about you, Joe?
I got 2 pages.
Hit me with one.
Should I pick one?
We can do.
I'm not gonna
before you pick it.
I'm not gonna pick my obviously trilogy that I love. I'm gonna talk about these last because I can do, like you said, we can do a whole segment on.
Don't do it yet. We got one in the chat that we're not going to talk about, so I'm going to say Damaged Beat says, what about Kung Fu movies? That's a good one, but I really wasn't too into them.
Yeah.
What about, I don't know if that was 80s. You are the last dragon. No?
I'm not sure, man.
Show no?
That was probably the 70s.
It's a black karate
no
movie.
idea.
I'm going to say that's late 70s. But it might be 80s.
There's so many.
So good.
All right, what do you got? What's next? What are you gonna say? What do you pick one? You gotta pick one. You know you got.
What are we gonna pick a genre?
Really? The
Like,
last
I
dragon?
got
Comedy.
I got comedy. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go straight up. National Lampoon's Vacation come out in 1983, dude.
National Lampoon's Vacation.
That movie is so
good.
Yeah,
fucking
I'm
good,
not
dude.
crazy.
That's
look,
another
guys.
movie that's still holds up. It's still funny.
I mean, you said Kung Fu, but
that's
black
the Christmas
Kung Fu.
story, but I'm talking about Vacation.
Yeah, but I just have this doll, so that's again. Boop boop boop.
You guys don't know this movie, really?
No, they know it. Everybody knows this movie.
Yeah.
National Lampoon's. That was that shit, man.
I said The Last Dragon. You are.
People know The Last Dragon, but
And also Karate.
we just don't know what year it came out. That's what I'm saying.
1985.
Oh, really?
And also Karate Kid.
Dude,
Yo, Dramatic in the chat is our Dramatic in the chat. Dramatic Gonzalez. He is our fact checker, and he said
1985.
he said Last Dragon, 1985. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Karate Kid isn't around that same time, no?
Karate Kid was
I got
definitely
Karate
that
Kid.
time,
Hold on,
yeah.
I got it right
What?
here. Karate Kid, 1984. Came
This
out.
bad mother,
Yeah.
mother hubba.
Shout out to German in the chat.
Germinated.
Why don't you
Another
do some
comedy.
jobs,
Trading Places.
Let's
Let me do a
see.
quick shout out real quick. then
Oh,
we're gonna get into the
Shout out to
comedy.
Tommy Guns Knight, King Chun, Stephen Clear, Julie Gagney, Arundel Robinson, German Carrasquillo. What up, everybody? Thanks for
What up,
joining
what up?
us, especially all of our new guests and all of our returning guests, which
If you-
means all of our guests.
If you're watching on Facebook, please go to YouTube. The link is in the chat. I just sent it right there. Boom. All right,
Get
let's
a
get
better
into
view
these.
of this
You wanna stick
wonderful
with comedy
podcast.
first?
Yeah, we're gonna do some comedies.
Stick with comedies.
Okay, stick with comedies. Heard.
Trading Places. 1983.
Oh, very
Eddie
yes,
Murphy, Dan
yes.
Aykroyd.
I have that DVD.
That movie, I think you do.
It's up there somewhere. You
Yeah,
don't have to
yeah.
look for it, but it's up there.
Oh my
That
God.
movie's fucking awesome. It's still funny. You know what I mean?
Another king of the 80s movies.
Yeah. Eddie Murphy was awesome in the 80s. His Beverly Hills Cop movies were fucking awesome, dude.
Yes. I mean, well, okay, so Trading Places. Everyone has to see this movie. So basically, break it down, Joe. Break down the movie.
So Eddie Murphy's a bum,
Here's a nice
Yeah.
picture for you.
and No, that's that was
Oh, over here.
Yeah, there you go.
Here we
So
go.
Eddie Murphy's the bum, and Dan Aykroyd's a rich guy working for this company, and the two rich guys want to see if they switch places, what will happen if the white guy can make it by himself without help, and if the black guy could do a good job back then.
Basically,
really
they put them to compete against.
Yeah, exactly.
each other.
Yeah.
And they had a bet for $1.
Yeah,
to see if they could take this bum.
These rich ass white privileged motherfuckers, dude.
And make him a successful man in the financial world. Because in the 80s, Wall Street was really big.
I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Eddie Murphy rocked the no legs in the beginning, right?
Yeah. So see how he's dressed like a bum. So he was on this little car pallet. Those of us who know how to change car oil, you get underneath the car. I know Joe knows.
Joe knows baseball.
Joe knows everything, right? So he was begging, and basically he's a hustler. And they saw him,
Yeah,
and they
that's
were
what
like,
it was.
"Oh, we can take this dude from the street to the."
Well, we'll see if this hustler kid.
Yeah.
He won't mind switching the lifestyle up.
Yeah, and then what's her name?
I'm surprised they haven't remade it to where the
What's
opposite.
his name?
They put a white guy in the hood.
Jamie Lee Curtis?
Oh yeah, she showed her boobies in that.
Yeah, she was a
Her
hooker.
boobies. Whoa, mind your manners, mind your manners.
Yeah, that's an 80s term, right? I'm talking
You said boobies on my fucking
Absolutely.
channel. I'm getting kicked off.
Try to stay on YouTube.
Hashtag me too.
Yeah, that was a good Eddie Murphy movie.
That
So
was really
Dan Aykroyd was awesome in the 80s too, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The whole Ghostbusters.
Yeah, the whole Ghostbusters.
One of my favorite 80s movies of all time is The Great Outdoors. He's in that movie. That movie is just so good.
Yeah,
Hit us up in the chat if you've ever seen The Great Outdoors.
The Great Outdoors was great.
It's just one of those movies that doesn't doesn't age.
No, it's really good.
Yeah.
Break it down. What's
88,
your favorite part
1988.
of The Great
Dan
Outdoors?
Aykroyd and John Candy. John Candy's fucking funny as shit. And they get the bald bear, the bear with the bald ass or whatever.
Yeah.
What was this? Why did the bear have a bald ass? Did someone shoot
Someone
it?
shot it. Someone shot it because it attacked them a few years before or whatever. Right? Something like that.
Yeah. It was like the curse of the killer bear.
Yeah.
But
How weird were those twins? Right? Was that
They were psycho twins.
was that a nod to The Shining?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Which came out in 1980, by the way. Check it out. That's an 80s movie. Sorry.
Yeah, worst movie. I'll say this because this isn't on our list. Worst movie of the 80s was Masters of the Universe.
I didn't even, dude. I got 2 pages of list and I didn't put it on there because how bad that was.
Yeah, let's show this list. You can't read it, but I'll just show it to you.
This one's
stuff on the back.
double-sided.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this one's
So this is the list of the movies that just right
This
here.
is my list.
So.
My list is up here. I'm Jay-Z with the list.
Yeah.
I read my list in my head.
You want to stick with comedies for now?
Yeah, stick with comedies for sure.
All right. I know you got a picture of it. Weird Science, man.
Oh, that's one of my
1985.
favorites. Okay, let's start with
That
the
movie
weird
made me want to
science.
get a computer and try to make a chick so I can bang her. Sorry, mind my manners, but
Mind your
No,
manners, mind your manners.
I would bang a computer chick that was that hot, dude. Look at that shit. How do you not get a boner as a kid looking at that shit, dude? That last one you had shit.
No, let me show you some
in
good
the underwear,
pictures,
dude.
Joe. Let me
Right
do it.
there, right there. That's what I'm saying.
Here we go, Joe.
Like with
I
you
got
got that
you.
almost underside boob. I remember being a kid doing this, trying to look under the. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Or
Holy-
I used to pause it when I would fall in the cliff in Mario. I pause.
This movie was great. It had everything
What's
that
her
you
name,
need
Kelly?
in an 80s movie.
What's her name? Kelly. Song?
Kelly Segal, because she was married to Steven
no,
Seagal.
no. I
But
think she changed her last name.
yeah,
God, I can't remember, but she was hot, man.
her name was Lisa in the movie.
Yeah. And they did a TV show.
So
after
these
that.
fools, if you don't know about this movie,
Damn, yeah. You want to get an 80s boner? Go ahead and watch this movie.
I don't know. I
So
know
these
the
dweebs-
one scene. I don't think I've ever seen it.
No.
this one is one of the famous.
His brother
ones.
Chet that kept beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're
Wait,
Chet.
so,
Chet was the 80s name because that was Dan Aykroyd's name in the Great
so
Outdoors.
these two dweebs, this is the older brother,
Yeah,
Chet.
there's the older brother Chet.
Okay.
Oh,
He was
that's
there.
not, not Bill Pullman. What's his name? Bill. No, that's not Bill Pullman. Bill Paxton,
Is it?
Yeah.
right? Bill Paxton, right?
Oh,
From
okay.
Twister,
Fucking Tom Twist.
right?
Yeah, but he was.
I mean, he was in bad movies.
He
so
got
I'm
killed by
saying-
the Terminator. He was in Aliens, got killed by
Yeah.
aliens, and he was in Predator and got killed by the Predator. How
Yeah.
fucking dope is that, right?
So
he got killed by
yeah.
the Terminator, the
So
aliens,
these
and
dudes,
Predator.
right?
Shout out to Shaw in the chat.
made her, right, Joe? Like, this is the
Oh
plot.
my God! See,
Them two
I get
made
it.
her.
I get a little '80s boner looking at that. Too.
Wait, better shot.
Oh.
Yeah, she is hot, huh?
Yeah, she was hot.
Definitely hot. For the 80s, she was a smoke show.
And then basically, like, every high school
Especially back then when
movie.
you're like, this movie's, I think it was
Yeah.
PG to be honest with you. And it was like, they showed like side boobs.
Look,
and
look.
shit. Like, oh.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
They shower and they still have their clothes on.
Hiding their boners.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's your trapper keeper? You need a trapper keeper to hide the boner. Trapper keeper had that thick, it was thick.
You must have been always carrying on the trapper keeper.
Yeah.
I used to put it and walk around like that.
A nice one in the chat that I don't think is on our list for comedies is Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that movie's
that's a good
great.
one.
And one that is on our list is Short Circuit.
Oh, yeah, that is right, 1986
That's a
Short
good
Circuit.
one.
Okay, cool story about Short Circuit. Okay, right when we started going to the bars in the early 2000s when I turned 21 and shit, that was one of my pickup lines. I used to go to chicks and go, hey, remember that movie Short Circuit? And people really, they'd remember it, but they wouldn't. I swear to God, they'd be like, yeah, I go, remember that robot? Oh, Johnny Five. I'm like, oh yeah, I do remember that. And you remember the little kid in it? They're like, no, not really. I go, that was me. I was in Short Circuit. I used to use that as a pickup line. Swear to God, dude.
That's
It worked, too.
Worst pickup line ever.
It worked because they didn't know that they knew the movie, but they didn't know the movie. You know what I mean? So I could be like, yo, that was.
That is
Yeah.
so random.
That's why I'm flossing all the time at the bars. Because I got that Short Circuit money.
Short Circuit was a good one. They did two of them, right?
You
Yeah.
got that
Oh yeah, I think they
Short
did three.
Circuit money.
Yeah. The second one, he
A
was
short
in New
stack.
York or something.
Short Circuit. Short Circuit, Lost in New York.
Yeah, something like that. One of my favorite comedies in the '80s, Spaceballs, man.
Hold on, before we get on to Spaceballs, we just blew your mind. Spaceballs, oh my God, get ready to talk about it. But someone just said in the chat that Revenge of the Nerd. Oh, you read it, babe. You gotta read it because this is gonna be funnier coming from you.
Okay, let's see. Scott Quisanto said, Revenge of the Nerds is by far a top 5 comedy of the 80s. That was the first movie I seen a huge bush. Was on ROTN.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh, Revenge of the Nerds.
100%.
Yes, but you know what
Big
other
ass
movie?
bush.
Hold up.
And
Porky's had the bushes.
No,
I
yeah,
was
but that
about
shit
to
needed
say,
trimming.
'cause you
That was like a
know-
hedge, like a hedge bush.
Listen,
Like you could.
in Porky's, that's when you saw the bushes. The shower scene, everybody
Yeah.
was naked up in there.
Damn, I remember wanting to rent this every single time we went to the video store. And my mom would be like, "You're not
You had
watching
this-
that movie again."
You had this loaded up already?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Let me tell you something about Porky's, alright? The plot of Porky's is really simple.
Terrible.
You have some young kids that go to this place. Hold up.
How many Me Too's came out of that
Hold
movie?
up.
Hold up.
Let me go back.
Hold up.
I don't know where I have it, but anyway.
Hold up.
They go to a strip club called Porky's.
Porky's.
And they don't let them in. Why? Because
No.
they're underage. So then the whole basically theme of the movie is how they get revenge on this large man
Revenge of the Porkies?
who's called Porky who owns
Ooh,
a strip club.
dabs.
Good,
But
do some
meanwhile-
dabs. Oops.
They're just full of antics. So this is the shower scene. So they're covered up, but I couldn't show you the other pictures I found online.
No,
And
we
it
don't wanna
was
get kicked
all
out of YouTube.
triangle 80s bush.
Shut up.
As like you were saying,
80s
Joe.
bush. We're
I'm
gonna do
not
a
hating. If you like
80s
80s
bush was huge.
cool.
And then like remember when it
Let's
broke
make
in
this for your girl.
Hold on, hold on a
the
second.
90s and had a landing strip.
We're going to do a couple dabs sponsored to us by Green Thumb Gorillas. Thank you very much.
Shout out to Green Thumb Gorillas.
So Porky's was good. I remember that one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is like one of the memorable scenes.
Was White Man Can't Jump 90s or 80s?
That was 90s.
Yeah, that was hella 90s.
All right, sorry.
Hella
sorry.
90s.
We're gonna stick with that.
But anyway, they put a hole in the girls' locker room,
Yeah, yeah.
and they decide they're flirting with the girls, so they decide, oh, we're gonna put our long john right in the hole because
Yeah.
these girls are feeling it. And then next thing you know, the gym
Oh, I remember
teacher
this. Yeah.
starts literally yanking on it.
That looks like it feels good.
Oh my god! I feel bad for you, son. You got 99 problems and she won.
Scott says his friend was licking the TV. Johnny Five alive. Is
Here
another
we
one.
are. Going crazy. Look. Porky.
Porky's though it
no,
spawned a
that's my
generation of
next-
perverts. I gotta say though.
Think so?
Yeah, because people are like, yo, I want to go spy on some chicks in the shower. They did it in the movie.
I think
man.
guys have been spying on naked
Thank
chicks
you. I was
forever,
gonna say
yeah.
that did not spawn nothing.
Yeah, man, it's fun. It's fun.
It was funny. It was like they
It
were
started
just in
there.
the But on that note, I have a bunch of I guess like the risque movies.
Oh,
No, we saw a comedy. A couple more.
Oh, I'm
comedies.
sorry.
I
I'm
got
sorry. Okay, we'll
tons
come
of
back.
comedy.
We'll come back. What else, Joe? What do you got?
Comedy, well, like I said, Spaceballs. I mean, if you were a Star Wars fan, Spaceballs is awesome. Dude.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it and you're a Star Wars fan, watch it.
You know
It's-
what?
it's still
I haven't
funny as
seen
shit,
it.
dude.
I've seen a lot of like
1987.
cuts that people show.
It basically makes fun of all three movies into one movie. You know
What
I
are
mean?
the three movies?
Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi.
Oh,
Yeah,
Star
yeah,
Wars
yeah,
movies.
yeah.
Okay, I see what
It's
you're
all
saying.
the it's really good.
Yes,
John Candy's
this
in
one
it.
that I didn't.
Bill Pullman's in it. It's really good.
Like I know, like she's like supposed to be a princess or something.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
it-
like
it's supposed to be
Leia.
Leia.
Yeah. And Bill
Duh.
Pullman is the he's Han and Luke. John Candy plays Barf. Remember the painting I made of Barf, John Candy?
No, I remember the art.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I know the characters. I haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's what that one. That I
Caddyshack. I know
Oh,
you've never
okay.
seen Caddyshack, but Caddyshack was
was
awesome.
Caddyshack 80s or late
1980.
70s?
No,
Oh,
1980.
1980. Okay. Do it. Well, let's put up Caddyshack.
Caddyshack. Bill Murray. What's this guy? Chevy Chase. And then,
Don
Robert,
DeLuise? No, not Don. Don
Rodney
DeLuise
Dangerfield.
wasn't it actually, wasn't he?
Rodney Dangerfield.
Roger Dangerfield as well. He was
Hey,
like
get no
the
respect
leader.
over here, you know.
Hey, give no respect. This guy over here.
You know, respect.
Give no respect.
This is the one that I know about Caddyshack, but I
That's
haven't
still
seen
a funny
it
movie.
with the gopher.
That's still a funny movie.
What is it?
Caddyshack. I still laugh at that movie.
I watched it. I never.
And maybe
I
because I was a kid watching it all the time, but I still laugh at that movie.
I had never seen it, and I watched it recently. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, okay.
It's pretty funny. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Coming to America,
Oh,
1985, 88. That Eddie Murphy's classic movie. They're doing a part 2 now.
yeah. Another actor who
Yeah.
killed it in the 80s when it came to movies. I mean, to a lot of things,
Killed it,
but
dude. Yeah.
I mean, how there are so many
good
parts of that movie,
yeah,
especially in the
and
beginning.
he plays so many characters.
Like in the beginning when he's getting his royal bath,
Yeah.
and they're like,
And
"Yo,"
Busta Rhymes spoofed it for the "Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See."
Yeah. and they're like, "Yo, they want you over there," and he comes out of the water, and then they come out the water. And you're like, "Oh, okay." That's all the 1,000 parts were clean.
Yeah.
But there were so many good parts.
Kind of the comedy, Bill and Ted, 1989.
That was coming through the chat, Bill and
Oh
Ted.
yeah, nice.
Shout out to Chris Rose in the chat. We got shout out to Matthew Lauren in the chat. Richard German, what's up?
That was really a pretty early start for
the 90s style. What's up, brother?
yeah, for Keanu Reeves and like
Yeah.
as an actor.
Yeah. That was 89, so I brought
He's
it
a
into
baby. I remember. Is that the one where they? I know because there was a second one, right?
Yeah, there was a second one.
It's-
Yeah,
but they
the
tra-
Bogus Journey or
They
something.
travel in a phone booth.
Yeah. George Carlin. George Carlin was their which he was fucking awesome. Blues Brothers, 1980.
Oh.
John
another good
Belushi,
one.
Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
That movie's fucking awesome. That's another one of those movies. 80s movies where you can watch again and you're like, this movie is
Absolutely.
really good, dude. You know what I mean?
If you haven't seen the Blues
And
Brothers,
they did like
it's
after
just
he
a good
died, they did
time.
like 3 more or whatever.
Yeah.
They did one with John Goodman, right?
John Good.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember that. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, we got that coming in the chat. I want to
Nice.
hold that one.
Yeah. Okay, that was 1986.
Let me see who said that in the chat actually.
Let me see. Let me check.
Ferris Bueller, right here, babe. Ferris Bueller's in the chat.
Yeah, baby.
So that's good. What do you got more for comedies? Let's do a couple more
Bueller.
comedies.
Want me to just blast the rest of them off?
No, because I got one. I got one that I want to talk about.
Go ahead.
If you're gonna blast them, I'll just say mine. Uncle Buck.
Okay.
Uncle Buck was one of the
Uncle Buck was
funniest
awesome.
movies I seen
Yeah.
All
when I
right,
was a
let's
kid.
take a moment and talk about Uncle
With
Buck.
when he was flipping the big old flapjack over, like that's just.
Buck is
I
awesome.
think it was on the trailer actually when he was on that chapter. Can I say something about real quick? I hate to take a detour from Uncle Buck, but it's not really too far of a detour. John Hughes
Thank you.
wrote most of these 80s movies that
Yeah.
we're talking about, like the comedies, the romantic comedies, and the kid teen comedies. He wrote all those movies in a weekend.
Yeah.
Like he would write a whole fucking movie in one weekend,
Yeah.
and it would become like a huge fucking classic movie. It's just something that always blew my
Yeah,
mind.
that's crazy.
He wrote a fucking like Oscar-winning movies, possibly at least hit movies. I'll just say I don't know if he won any Oscars, but we'll say hit movies. Shout out to Navigator. Shout out to Underrated. I got it, Navigator. I gotta shout your thing out. I'm gonna wait till I'm done my point. He wrote hit movies all through the 80s, and he wrote them in one fucking weekend.
Yeah. It's insane.
Also,
dude.
Coke was big in the 80s. No, let me stop. But I feel like
That's
for
how he
some
made it through the
reason,
weekend,
I
huh?
always thought that he had like a mad cool family, like just a huge family. I don't know.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
my crazy mind. And he would just like come up with things because he had like a cool uncle, or maybe he had a young cousin that always had like boy problems, or like I don't know. In my mind, I always felt like John Hughes had like a really huge family
Smoke hour.
of like relatives and friends that were just mad cool.
They told bad stories.
He just had the best stories.
Yeah.
Shout out to Eric in the chat. All right, so
Want me to blast through the comedies?
yeah, before you blast through the comedies, I just want to shout this one movie because I don't think we wrote it down. 3 O'Clock High.
Ooh, I have it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
3 O'Clock High was
awesome,
such a
I
good
don't know if I
fucking
know
movie.
that
awesome.
one.
It has the big bully in the leather jacket, and he's gonna beat up.
It's basically the
Ferris Bueller or whatever, after school.
fist fight. Ice Cube and Charlie Days in the
You know,
basically the same movie.
when
but
I was
they were
researching 80s
students.
movies, I found a lot of the plots where I was like, oh, that was at this movie that just came out in 2015. Like, I had never seen the movie in the 80s, and I'm like, they're remaking a lot.
Shout out to Ape Shit in the chat. Shout out to Underrated.
Why don't I remember this movie?
Hold on, babe, we can watch it. This movie's so good. I'll watch it.
And
We can watch it tonight.
Okay.
If you zoom in on that picture, everyone will remember this guy.
The bully, you know where the bully's from? Kindergarten Cop. He was the bad guy.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
because I was like, he
yeah.
looks familiar. Okay.
It's not for too
Don't
long.
mess with him. Don't mess with Indojo. INDOJOE.
So 3 O'Clock High, man.
By the way, you're watching Mind Your Manners podcast. If you didn't know, now you know. We're talking about 80s movies. Go ahead, Mr. GL. Any comments in the...
Just shouting out Ape. He's sending us a shout out in the chat.
Nice.
Ape Shit. But yeah, 3 O'Clock High, man. Thank you for submitting that one because I honestly didn't have that on my list, and that was such a great movie to me growing up. It's so crazy how we forget little things that were so important to us.
I forgot a lot of movies. Like,
that was a rewatch movie all the time. It's funny.
But my last comedy that I want to
have
throw
one
in.
after you do that.
Are we doing family movies or is that a whole?
Ooh, that could be next because I have one that's like a comedy and family.
Well, I mean, Great Outdoors is a family movie.
Okay, so then my last comedy that I had on my list was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
That movie's awesome.
Another good movie.
That movie's great.
Like,
too.
what movie have you guys said really that we haven't been like a good movie? There's just so many good movies. Like, legit.
In the chat before you got into it,
Okay.
they're talking about the 3 O'Clock High bully. Navigator says he was legit only in those 2 movies.
For real. For real. I honestly don't. I can't remember another movie he's been in. Maybe he got like he was like got his money. It was like started a restaurant. Was like, oh wow.
Maybe he was a super nice guy and he hated being typecast as a mean guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Or maybe he sucked. Or maybe he got.
Yeah, maybe he was a
Me
terrible
too.
actor. He could have been a terrible actor.
True. True.
Want me to blast through the?
Yeah. Ghostbusters was on my list, but
Yeah.
we already talked
That
about
is
it.
Are we doing family movies, comedies?
No, he's gonna.
I'm gonna blast through the rest of my comedies.
If you have comedies,
If you
do the
hear
same
one,
after.
if you hear one, and you want to stop talking
Okay.
about it. Okay, ready? Clue, 1985.
I don't remember it, but I never saw it, but I know it.
Yeah,
I know
it's
it.
a
It's like the
movie.
board game.
It was
I
from
love the board game, so I like
Yeah,
the movie.
yeah.
That was good.
Okay, The Burbs, 1989.
The Burbs!
Oh, that was
Oh, man.
so good.
Oh, Mom, they know I'm bald.
The Burbs. The
Oh,
Burbs
no.
is awesome, 1989, dude. Twins, 1988.
Oh. Very
Arnold
good.
Schwarzenegger was
Twins is
And
weird.
Danny DeVito, right?
Danny DeVito trying to be funny. Yeah. 3 Men and a Baby, 1987.
Oh, we got one in the chat that I hope is on our list. I'm gonna say it actually.
Say it.
Say it.
What about Bob?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
about that? Was a
about
great
Bob.
movie.
Awesome.
What
dude,
about? I was
yeah.
just watching it the
I
other
don't
day,
get this.
actually.
This one's over my head in the chat. Read it, babe. Maybe you get it.
All right, so Robert Chunka Connor says classic Pop-Tarts and jeans in the microwave. Okay, I think he's just talking about the 80s in general.
Oh, okay.
'Cause I don't know a movie like that, and if
Yeah,
not, it might be in the porn section of the 80s. I don't know.
Behind the curtain. Behind the curtain. All right, go ahead, Joe. You got it.
Three Amigos, 1987.
Oh, that's a good one.
Three Amigos, an awesome movie. Dragnet,
Dragnet was
1987.
my favorite
Something
movie.
like that.
Hold on. Dragnet. Oh my God. Suction cups on the nipples, and you can show it in a PG movie. What? Suction
Yeah,
cups on the nipples
Genius.
is the wave.
The movie was
Because
awesome,
you can show
dude.
tits in a
Yeah.
PG movie,
Tits.
and they come through the strip club with the tanks
Yeah.
and all the milk gets
And, then,
everywhere.
and he comes out like this and goes, "That's milk." Good Morning Vietnam, 1987.
Another good
Robert
movie.
Williams.
I'm sure I saw it, but don't remember. I know it obviously, but
What do we got?
I was just some more shout outs. We got some more shout outs.
Oh, shout out to Siobhan Firely, I think.
Finally.
Fire.
Fireball.
Mr. Connor, thank you. We did say 3 o'clock high.
So awesome.
All right, so keep going,
It's
Joe.
right on the
Okay,
screen. I'm just
Pee Wee's Big Adventure,
kidding.
1985.
That was big when I was a kid.
That's directed by Tim Burton.
I just don't feel like those stood the test of time.
Yeah, yeah. Big, 1988.
Oh,
Big was great.
good.
I got
Awesome
that.
movie.
I got that.
Yeah, yeah. Harry and the Hendersons, 1987.
Alright, stop. I'm stopping. I'm stopping.
Stop right there.
Harry and the Hendersons was one of my favorite childhood movies. But the first time I saw it when I lived in New York. We went to the movies. And what year did it come out?
1987.
1987. So I was 6 years old, okay? And because I'm born in 80, but it's in the end of the year. Oh, and my social security number is. But okay, so we went to see Harry and the Hendersons, and the beginning of it, they're driving through the redwood forest, and it's all foggy and it's all creepy, and the sounds of the sounds of everything.
Creepy.
I remember it was the first thing I was ever scared of as a movie. I was hiding under the seat like.
Indo.
And then
Estaba muy bueno.
oh,
Was it good?
Yeah. Okay, and then I came out of my
Trying to pee on.
vagina-like fear.
Did you
and
say
then-
vagina like fear?
Vagina-like fear, because I was a little pussy.
Okay.
And I came up and I watched it, and then I ended up liking the movie a lot. But
Yeah.
something about that intro and all the fog, and I knew that there was a big monster in the movie. I was like, oh my god, I am not fucking with this.
For real.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that about that
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, that was awesome.
But if you've never seen that movie, you should watch it. It stood the test of
That's
time.
It's really good. John
John
Lithgow.
Lithgow, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Who's an amazing actor.
John Lithgow's in it, and I feel like there's a cameo.
The mom also is a famous actress from like the 80s.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the son, with the little nerdy son, he was
Yep.
in everything.
Yep, yep, yep. Police Academy, 1984.
Oh, how could I miss that, Joe?
Police
The
Academy.
best. The best.
Mahoney and the guy that made the noise.
Oh.
Yeah, what the fuck, that guy was, that shit was awesome.
Oh,
man.
the guy who made all the sounds.
Yeah, yeah.
Dun, dun,
Weekend
dun,
at Bernie's,
dun.
1989. That movie was funny.
Oh wait, Weekend at Bernie's was good.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw it. I don't think I saw
I did have reference to that.
the sequel. Because even as a
Yeah,
kid,
yeah.
I'd be like, well, so he's still dead?
Yeah,
What are they doing now? They're going to Jason in space? What's happening?
Yeah.
Oh, Police Academy was so good. Sorry,
Yeah, Police
I'm so
Academy.
stuck on this.
Those movies are great.
Yeah, so many
honestly,
great characters.
If they do a reboot, please bring back the original cast.
Oh my
I don't care if
God.
they can't act. I don't want a new cast.
Yeah.
Like I want a reboot with the old cast.
That would be interesting if they did
Yeah.
that, because they always bring them back for little cameos.
Yeah, yeah.
But it would
I
be
would
cool.
like to have the whole
Yeah.
cast.
Like, just imagine if they did
Well, the captain's
Ghostbusters.
probably passed.
I mean, I know this
Sorry.
dude died, but what if they did
Yeah.
Ghostbusters and they
With the originals, yeah.
and they were like the whole movie that these guys were in it.
Maybe it wouldn't have been as bad.
I mean, Dan Aykroyd's kind of weird and he can't really act anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know.
Naked Gun, 1988.
Yeah,
Naked
several of the
Gun's
Naked
fucking
Guns.
awesome,
Naked
dude. That
Gun
was
2
really
and a
funny.
half.
Where did we go? Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
That one was good. That was funny.
Any
That,
John
that one,
Candy movie?
1987.
people still talk about that one.
Yep.
John Candy's
Airplane,
movie.
1980.
Yeah.
I never. That's regarded by
Surely you understand. I do,
Comedians-
and don't call me Shirley.
the comedians that I grew up listening to, or that are maybe like 10 years older than me, regard Airplane as like the funniest movie of all time.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know about that. Yeah, yeah. It's a comedy, but it's also kind of a musical. Little Shop of Horrors, 1986.
With,
Rick
Rick
Moranis.
Moranis, yeah.
That movie's fucking awesome, dude. 1982, year I was born, baby. Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh yeah.
Sean Penn's only like comedy role. Plays a stoner. If you have never
Oh,
seen
that's
it,
so good, that
Spicoli,
movie.
He plays. It's still funny. Still funny to listen. That scene where she's coming out of the pool of the red, and he's picturing her taking her top off.
And I feel like such like a classic teenager, like, dude, I'm just trying to get by. Like,
Yeah.
I don't give a F about school right now. Like, I'm just surfing and like skateboarding and like, let me be.
Pause it right there.
Okay.
If you're watching on Facebook, you're watching the Mind Your Manners podcast. Go to YouTube. The link I just
Mind your
posted.
manners.
I just posted the link in the chat.
Oh, they
Shout out to
can't see.
Gary. Shout out to Richard and Jessica.
Yeah.
I just pointed the link in the chat. Go to the YouTube link. You can see the whole show. You can see
You
our
can see my bald
you
head.
can see our screen. You see you on there. You see our screen. But if you're gonna stay on Facebook, that's fine too. But you're watching the Mind
What
Your
makes you
Manners
happy?
podcast.
Yo, mind it.
You're watching the Mind Your Manners podcast. Go find it on Facebook and like it. Please, thank you.
Okay, I only got a few left in the comments. Major League, 1988.
Oh,
1989.
another great
Major
movie.
League.
And
I was wearing the jersey
series.
yesterday. I don't know if nobody noticed.
Yeah,
I
if
was
you didn't
wearing-
notice in yesterday's,
I was wearing
episode.
a Ricky Bond's jersey yesterday. Kind of a comedy, but Raising Arizona, 1987.
Damn, I
Yeah.
always try to. We can never find it to watch.
That movie's really good, and that's the Coen brothers.
Yeah.
yeah,
gotta own
really,
it.
really good movie. Okay, and this is the one, the last comedy I got, and I really want to talk about is Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
Oh, such a
1988.
good movie.
Like that was a breakthrough movie, like you were saying yesterday. Like that was like animation in like I know they did it in like that musical with the Disney where the guy was skipping around with the penguins, but like that movie was awesome, funny, and it was like edgy, and it was the first time I saw a cartoon that I wanted to have sex with.
I was gonna say, who knew cartoons could be so fun?
Damn, dude. I watch that now and go, damn, I would still have sex with that cartoon.
Yeah, Jessica Rabbit was hot as fuck.
Holy shit, man. This movie was still good though.
Yeah, Jessica
Look
Rabbit
at those.
was
Look how small her waist is compared to
her waist looks like
boobs.
Joe in the picture yesterday.
Yeah.
I know exactly like Joe. I just got a little bit more
That
curve
was
on the
awesome,
bottom.
though,
Like,
dude.
you know what I'm saying. But yes.
Yeah, that was great.
No, it was great. Action,
Yeah.
comedy,
Oh, last
adventure.
one too. I guess it's a comedy. Yeah, it is. Beetlejuice,
Shouts-
1988.
Yep, I wanted to say
forget.
that. Sun B, if you're still watching in the chat.
Shout out to Sun B.
I said that. Marcial says, Navigator in the chat says that Jessica Rabbit introduced him to thoughts. I like that.
Real.
He
For
said
real.
And then he
thoughts.
says this movie, but I'm not sure if I know this
love
movie.
mine, like Miss Bob.
Last American Virgin. I don't know that.
I don't know what it is.
No,
I'm
I've
not-
heard of it.
That's crazy. All that.
He
All
might
those
be
movies,
going-
I don't have it on there.
He might be saying something that's going
But
over
wait,
my
we
head.
can't
but-
just skip over. Oh wait, let's finish the comments. But
I'm done with the comedies if we want to go to the next genre.
do we have any more comments, Mr. DL?
Let me check YouTube, but Who Framed Roger Rabbit was just a
breakthrough movie.
technologically superior movie. Maybe it wasn't the greatest movie. I really don't remember.
Yeah.
But just, dude, it was crazy. You got to think of what they were doing and when they were doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, having actors with.
Like it's
cartoons.
2020 right now, and with all of this that you see, I can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like Space Jam was like one of the other movies that did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was in the 90s.
I know that's what I'm.
You're talking
What
about,
I'm
talking about the
Yeah,
80s.
Beetlejuice is awesome though.
You know,
Beetlejuice, I like that when he grabbed his dick and said, "Nice fucking model, honk honk." When I was a kid, I used to say, "Nice fucking model."
What a delight you must have been. I remember the shrinking head is one of the things that I remember.
Yeah.
Oh,
At the
here, right
Yeah,
here.
at the end.
In the beginning too. They brought it back at the end.
Um,
Yeah. In the when they first go to die, but it was just a lot of good actors, and they're bringing it back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
I
the
hope, again, I hope they stick with the
Yeah,
original
that's
cast.
another. That's
Yeah.
what we were just talking about that. Oh, fucking callback. We were just talking about that.
Next genre?
I don't know. Where's John? Let me think.
Well, we got action. We
Hold
got,
on. Let me think about. Let me think about comedy before we go because I
okay.
don't want to go.
Yeah, over. We'll see if anybody got something they want to go.
Let us know if you missed any in the chat.
Comedies.
But I think we did pretty good.
Yeah.
I have one that's like comedy / family.
We could do action. We could do horror. There's horror movies. There's great horror movies in the
Let me
80s.
check this YouTube chat before we go. Shout out to Revolution in the chat.
Hey, what up, Rev?
What up?
What do you think?
Yep, Roger Rabbit. People say this is what we got in the chat. Hold on, we'll
Let
bring
me see.
it.
Let me see. Bring it back.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
see. I'll read
Bringing
them
it
all.
back to the 80s.
So we'll take it from We'll take it from right there.
Okay. So Spaceballs. We said that Beetlejuice from
Damage-
Damage Beats.
Yeah.
We got Scott Quiz said Comb the Desert. I think that is a
That's from
phrase.
Spaceballs.
See, I didn't say that
from
one.
Spaceballs.
He also said fucking barf.
That's Spaceballs.
I assume. And then Damage Beat says
Oh,
The Princess Bride.
You guys
Great
find
movie.
anything? No.
One of
Yeah, he
his
found shit.
favorites, Roger Rabbit. He dittos that Little Shop of Horrors, A Third
Little
Hole.
Shop of Horrors is awesome.
It's
A third-
coming soon.
a third
Dot,
one of
dot,
what?
dot. The Third Hole is the movie.
I don't
The
know.
third one is coming
A third
soon.
one of
I
what?
said hole and he said third
Little
one.
Shop of Horrors?
What?
Oh, because this was a remake with this guy, right? Like with Rick Moranis was
Yeah.
the second Little Shop of Horrors, right?
You see where my mind went? My bad,
Yeah.
people. My bad.
Oh,
And then we have Damage
Why,
Beat
is Rick-
says
is he
Weekend
coming out
at
acting?
Bernie's.
sorry. We can have
Airplane.
Clue. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Revolution jumped in. Shout out to
Chuck
Revolution.
Norris. I mean, that's not necessarily a movie.
No, but he was the shit in the 80s.
It's a good movie. Okay, Robert Connor says, "Nice kid, FB to you too, much better view."
Yes, pause right there. That's everyone watch it on Facebook. If you watch it on YouTube, it's so much better. Go ahead.
Real Root Warriors, shout out to the people in the beautiful island of Puerto Rico. Yes, we talked a lot about the Goonies in the beginning. One of my favorites, actually. So shout out
Real
to
Root Warriors.
Root Warriors.
Follow them on Instagram. If you can't find them, just go to my page. I'm following them. Goonies never die. All right, we're going on to the next subject. I can't think of any comedies off the top that I want to talk about. Did Home Alone come out in the 80s or the 90s?
That was the
That was
90s.
90s.
90s. Then I'm done.
Well, I have a comedy / family movie.
Okay, this is a comedy.
So I loved this movie,
Oh.
Mr. Mom. Like,
Oh my
I
god.
watched this movie over and over and
Why did I
over
think
on a
it was with Hulk Hogan?
VHS tape.
That's dude. He just said the same thing I said.
What?
I
Go
thought this
ahead.
movie was with Hulk Hogan.
No, that was Mr. Nanny or something like that. I can't remember what it was
This
called.
is with Michael Keaton.
Someone in the chat, let us know what the Hulk
Oh,
Hogan.
she's right with Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Now I remember
This movie is the bomb. Like, I will literally watch this
Yes,
movie
yeah.
till this day. I don't know what it was. Maybe because my dad wasn't around, and I was like, "What?
Yeah, yeah.
Dad staying home, taking
This
care
is
of the kids?"
another Michael Keaton. He's funny in this movie.
Hilarious. So the plot of
He's
this
really
movie
funny in
is
this movie.
he's a high executive. Apparently, they downsized. I think it was an auto place. So they downsized, right? So goes like, I'll go back to work, right? So she gets a job in advertising, like right off the bat.
Good job,
He was
Cookie.
like, "Yeah, babe, go, good luck." And right off the bat, she got this job, right? So now he's at home taking care of the kids, and it's just hella chaos. But he is so funny in
He
this.
is really good in that.
So one of my favorite scenes in this movie is he finally gets a job interview, right? And he's taking care of the kids, and he's trying to get ready, but he has to bring the kids with him. And as you can see, they just made a hot mess of this
Yeah.
bathroom, like toilet paper everywhere. And I think like
Are
one
the
of
kids
the
anybody?
guys,
Are the kids anybody?
yeah, like this kid, I forgot, he's a child actor. He became a
Everybody's
actor.
somebody, dude.
Yeah, like I can't remember, but he's a
You're
famous child
fame-shaming.
actor. I'm not. I don't.
Oh,
But
I don't know if it's a
It was so
comedy.
good.
Do you remember Little Monsters?
Yep, that's a great one. I
Yes.
got that one. Little Monsters with Fred Savage and the guy who's scared to always wash his hands all the
Red-
time.
With
Oh,
red
yeah,
hair,
no.
didn't he have
Howie
like red,
Mandel.
did he have like crazy red hair? or something?
No, he was a monster. He had blue. He was blue and he lived under his bed.
Yeah. Was his
Little
name
Monsters.
Fred?
1989.
I'm not sure what his name was. No, I think his name was Fred, but it was something
My
like
name's
that.
Fred.
What was the name of the movie, Joe?
So the
Little
Hulk
Monsters.
Hogan was. Hold on. Before. Oh yeah. After that, the Hulk
Go ahead.
Hogan one was Mr. Nanny.
What was the Hulk Hogan movie where he was riding a boat at the end?
Conan?
No, Conan.
Okay,
that's
that's
Arnold Schwarzenegger. But that is 1980.
Okay,
We can jump
so-
into action if you
No,
want.
I don't want to jump into action. I want to see if anybody remembers this movie.
I
Of course,
remember.
man.
I remember this movie.
He was funny as shit, and it was like, I wish I had a monster living under my bed.
Oh, that's another little monster.
Yeah, that's a porno.
All right, Mr. Dio, what were you saying?
No, I just liked this movie when I was a kid. I don't know. It wasn't scary, but it was. You know, he was a monster that lived under his bed. It wasn't scary.
Yeah, but he was a fucking troublemaker.
Yep.
Yeah, he was.
Well, I guess with the name Little Monster,
He was
okay,
like
that's
Bart.
gotta
He
be a
was,
good
he was
guy.
like Bart Simpson before Bart Simpson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Howie Mandel's character.
See, I was thinking
Yeah.
of another movie, maybe it's in the '90s with like with Carrot Top. I think that it was kind
Ugh.
of like the same thing. He was
Probably
just
a
like this
rip-off.
annoying, like imaginary friend.
Not sure.
It's Carrot Top,
Cross
so it's
habit.
probably annoying. Horror?
Anywho.
You want to jump into horror?
My science teacher used to say that. Shout out to Dr. Madross, I think her name was.
Are you good with comedy? What do you think?
Yeah. What do you want? I mean, I had a lot of like
I got.
romantic comedies, like
Yeah.
All right,
all
we'll
the-
do romantic
Yeah,
comedies.
do you?
Like-
I don't have any of those.
Let's finish this comedy.
Well, I got 16 Candles. Is that romantic candles?
Absolutely. So I have a slew of Molly Ringwald pictures.
yeah,
So let's
I'll
start.
let you blast those ones off.
Let's start
I'll give you
with,
the dates. 16
Oh,
Candles, 1984.
See, Joe and I, we already did our research. So this was 16 Candles, right?
I can't front. I did see the movie. It's the one where he asks her for her underwear and he shows them up.
Oh.
And he's
Yeah.
like, I got her underwear.
So
and then he goes
basically-
over and sniffs them and jacks off.
She
Oh.
has a crush on him. I think she's like
Yeah,
a freshman or sophomore, and
yeah,
he's
the
a
tall guy,
senior,
the tall
and
guy.
he's like, the jock.
Yeah.
He's got a girlfriend, all
Fuck
that.
you tall guys.
The younger one, he's the kid from Weird Science.
Yep.
He's just a big dork who's in love with her.
Mhm.
So basically, something happens, and he's like, "Yo, I made a bet,
He's
and
still
you
acting,
would really
right?
help me out." Yeah, he's still acting.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you would just like, give me your underwear.
Yeah.
So
Be
basically,
a homie. Give me your underwear.
typical high school movie. She's awkward. He's
Yeah.
cool. Apparently, his girlfriend ends up being a slut, drinks too much, and ends up hooking up with the nerd guy, and then she gets the guy.
Jesus.
But
First
this
time
is like the
walking.
famous scene. It's like one of the last scenes on 16 Candles because
It is a good movie, though.
The thing is,
Like you said, in John Hughes movies, man,
Exactly.
they dominated the
exactly.
80s.
And another movie where the soundtrack was like
Yep.
a huge hit.
Yeah. It's part of the movie.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah.
Let's see
Before
what
the-
what are
the-
people saying in the in the chat. Excuse me.
Drop Dead Fred.
Oh,
Yes, that was the name of the movie.
Shout out to
actually,
Robert
right?
Connors in the chat.
Breakfast Club, right? The 85. That's a comedy. Right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I never saw Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club. That's good.
It's one of those movies that if you put it on, I probably saw it. But I just don't-
That's how it ends. Like
I just
this.
remember it.
That's how it ends.
That's gonna be the
It's
screenshot.
Judd Nelson. It's Judd Nelson at the end of the movie, and he walks through the field and he's like,
No,
and it pauses. I swear to God.
that's not how it is.
That's how it ends.
Oh my god.
What
In the
movie?
chat,
What,
the end of Breakfast Club. It's Judd Nelson walking across
Spoiler.
the football field,
Oh,
and it just
absolutely.
pauses with him like,
Absolutely.
swear to God, and his
Spoiler.
jacket's hanging out like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have it in here. Hold on. Well, I don't know if I have the ending, but like,
I've seen that movie.
Definitely.
Emilio Estevez in that movie. That's a good movie though, dude.
yeah, I'm trying to.
It reminds
find
me of Detention on the weekends.
Here we go.
I had a lot of that.
This guy, Robert Connors in the chat. That's exactly how it ends. He says.
He's right.
Thank you.
He's right.
That's
I
too
don't know why I
funny.
can't get to it.
Oh my god.
Holy
can't
fuck.
believe it.
That's a fucked up movie.
So what's the next romantic comedy, babe?
Oh, here we go. Sorry, I got ADD over here. But this is the Breakfast Club, and so at the end, it's right. He's like all happy because
Yeah.
he hooked up with Molly
With her,
Ringwald.
yeah.
Spoiler alert!
Oh shit. And then Emilio Estevez hooks up with the emo nerd.
Yes,
right?
there-
And then
and he's by himself.
The weird science kid just goes in the bathroom and watches everybody and
Yeah, like
through
these
the
are the iconic
through the Porky's
scenes.
hole.
It's a great movie about kids who get attention who are in different like
Yeah, the different,
social
yeah.
statuses in school. So you have
And,
the jock.
Apparently they're all white privileged too.
Yeah, exactly. There are no minorities at this school.
Shout out to DJ Cruz.
But that was like every 80s movie.
Yeah,
Except for The Last Dragon and the
No.
breakdancing movie.
Oh shit, yeah.
No, let me stop. But hey, it was a
Fuck,
great
so
movie.
it's
I
like-
loved it.
Robert Connors in the chat. Big Trouble Little China says,
Oh, I got that.
Oh,
says
great
Revolution,
movie.
but that's not a comedy.
Yeah, see, I don't want to go jump into the action quite.
Blazing Talking Classics Friday
I'll
night.
check that
Staying
out.
in there, it's fine. I tell you, man.
Another
Shout out to
like
everybody
one
watching.
of those.
Please like the video and share it on your social media if you want some of your friends to come
I
and
had
hang
a-
out with us.
Dark comedy. Do you guys remember Heathers?
I don't.
No, I don't.
That was a huge movie. Winona Ryder, Christian Slater. Again, most
Oh,
of these
Christian
movies
Slater
are like
was
kids
good.
in high school. I don't know. Like most of the themes are like war, kids in high school. Or love.
Technically it's kind of a comedy. It's this funny Princess Bride, 1987.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had that.
That's what
I just wasn't-
Honor the Giant.
I didn't really
Princess Bride was really good.
consider that a comedy, but
Yeah, that's why I was like, it's kind. There's funny parts, cause like, but it's not really a comedy. But that's a great movie. That's a good 80s movie.
Shout out to DJ Cruz,
What consider
legendary
comedy?
DJ Cruz in the chat.
What
That's
up,
what's
DJ? Hey, Mr. DJ.
I got
I think it's
very
90s.
few. I said we jump into the horror.
Are you done?
Oh yeah,
with
that's
your-
right. All the rest was done.
Oh, I have so much comedy.
Keep going, man.
Oh,
Romantic
yeah, keep
comedies.
going,
So
yeah.
Heathers, where basically it's like the
Yeah, I
original
don't know
Mean
that.
Girls.
Yeah, we don't know Heathers. Let's keep going with that. What's the next one? What you got? Tell us.
Better Off Dead.
I don't know this one either.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who's the
John
lead?
Cusack.
No, yes, yeah.
What was the plot?
So the
Really
plot
wasn't a big
is
Cusack fan. Is that the one where he holds the speaker outside?
no, that's Say Anything, which I also have.
Oh,
But Better Off Dead is the one where he gets dumped, and then the guy next door has this foreign exchange student come in, and she's like kind of cute, and he's like broke and trying to like get over himself, and he some reason owes the paperboy $2, so the paperboy is like the gimmick in almost like every scene where he's like chasing him like a psycho. I want my $2. Okay, we're gonna skip it because if you don't know that line in the movie, you don't know the movie. This is Say Anything.
Same thing.
Iconic scene.
That's
move
all
on.
it
Yeah,
is.
that's done in
Alright.
every. Is that a Family Guy dog doing? That's like a Family Guy character,
I just,
right? Because it's been in everything.
It's
you know
been
what I mean?
everything
has.
is spoofed at.
Yeah,
really
I've
has.
never seen the movie, but I know that scene.
It's basically like one of these movies where like she's like the
Imagine you made that movie.
preppy
though.
girl and he's like the
Yeah, like-
outsider and her dad doesn't
Who
want
wrote
to
it?
date him.
Did John Hughes write it?
Let me see. Yeah, I think
Cameron
actually,
Crowe
yes.
film.
John Hughes wrote this, We've Seen Sandals, Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's, Weird Science. He wrote all
He
those
must have
movies.
just like found somebody's like book that was writing for years and
Yeah.
doink. Hey, I wrote this in a weekend on some coke.
Did you know that John Cusack was in Stand By Me? A lot of people don't remember
Oh,
that.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, he was
He
one
was
of the bad guys.
he was the older brother now.
Oh, you're right.
He was the
Yeah,
older
you're right.
brother.
Yeah,
I think
you're
the
right.
one that
The older
passes away.
I'm thinking of Kiefer Sutherland was the bad guy. That
What's
movie's
your
great.
next romantic comedy? This is the romantic hour with Chef Tanya Nicole.
Well, of course, I have like all these like cheesy like
You said Breakfast Club.
80s movies with Molly Ringwald. So this is like For Keeps, where she like they get pregnant really young.
What a slut!
What a
The
whore.
Pickup Artist with Robert Downey Jr. No one remembers these. These are definitely chick flicks.
Yeah, these are definitely.
So
It's all
he's
good,
like-
bro. There's girls watching.
He's like the man.
Look how much coke he's on right
He
there.
hustles. And so any girl that he wants, he does. He just walks up to anybody and be like, "Oh,
I'm
has
begging you.
anyone told you that?" Blah blah blah. So he comes up to her and she's like, "Not having it."
Yeah, but did he go like this? Hey, do you know I'm gonna be fucking Iron Man? I'm gonna be fucking Iron Man. And
So
she was like,
basically,
"All right."
this is a
Yeah,
Me
'cause she was probably
Too.
like, that's weird.
This is a
Yeah.
Me Too movement joke. Because basically the whole movie, he's like harassing her.
Yeah,
Like shows
yeah.
up to her job, shows up to where she lives.
Ooh, comedy.
Like will not stop bothering her, and she keeps telling him no. Like I don't want to go out with you. And then the next thing is, her dad like gets into some trouble with gangsters of debt, and I guess he like tries to help out, and then I guess they hook up.
Comedy I
That's
just
all it
remembered.
takes.
Tootsie.
Oh, that was such a good one, Tootsie.
With this
He
guy.
dresses up like a woman
Yeah, chick.
because he needs a job. Because
Yeah,
you know.
We didn't do Stripes either.
Oh, that's another good
But,
one.
was that for your romantic comedies, back?
No, but like whatever. Actually, Tootsie is a romantic comedy. He falls in love with his roommate or like
and then he
this
finds
lady
out,
right here.
He finds out that she's a lesbian, so it just works out.
I don't remember.
She looks like Lisa Kudrow right here.
That's the first transgender.
Maybe. I mean that I can remember.
Uh-oh.
Probably couldn't pull that shit.
Oh,
off.
girl on girl, girl on girl. Whoa.
I can't admit that shit's hot.
Yeah.
Did
Did you say that's hot? Pretty in Pink,
Pretty in Pink. Ooh,
which makes that hideous dress.
that
Like,
sounds like a porn.
no offense, but even for the 80s,
Shout out to Robbie in the chat.
this
Robbie.
outfit was not cute. It was like a Cinderella story.
I remember this lady.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
poor. She likes this
Who
rich
is this?
kid.
That's Molly Ringwald?
Oh, I
That's
remember
Molly
this-
Ringwald.
On The Simpsons, I remember that they had a Molly Ringwald character.
Is it
and
called
she-
like Ducky or something?
Yes,
One
his
of them?
name is Ducky.
on The Simpsons.
Damn, man, I'm fucking. I should be on a goddamn fucking game show, motherfucker.
They made fun of her on The Simpsons.
Yeah, they called her Molly Ringworm. She
Molly
was a
Ringworm.
cop. I mean, she was a dog.
Oh my god.
We already said Mr. Mom.
Yeah.
What else? Porky's.
Porky's.
We said Stand By Me.
Stand
Oh, I
By
love
Me.
this part on Stand By Me. That's
Stand
the
By
part I
Me.
remember the most. The
Oh my God.
leeches
Here's
Can
a
I
story.
stop?
and the
Hold on.
puking.
Sorry. That just reminded me of something.
This
Just
one
getting
was awesome.
slimed on.
River Phoenix.
Getting slimed on. You can't say that on television.
I don't know.
No, this movie, Stand By Me. Okay, good, cool story.
Oh, look.
Stephen King wrote this movie. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, a lot of people don't know that, but some people do. But a lady, this is his story he tells. A lady came up to him, was like disgusted with his Pet Cemetery and his like his It and The Shining. It was like, those movies, you should be writing movies like Stand By Me. He's like, I wrote that movie.
I wrote that movie.
Yeah, like, you dumb bitch. That movie's great. That's a great kid movie. That's another 80s movie that you could watch and it's still good. River Phoenix. This kid that it's on the Sheldon's rival there. What's his name? Will Wheaton.
Oh yeah.
Will Wheaton's in it. Corey Feldman's in it.
We got lard ass coming through.
What's the other kid's name? 'Cause all those people are
Jerry
still,
O'Connell.
Jerry O'Connell.
Which also
they're
is
all
still big.
famous. Bro. Well,
Yeah.
River Phoenix is dead, but he's still famous.
May he rest in peace.
His brother's Joker. That
Yeah.
helps. Rob Reiner did that movie. Okay. Lard ass. I don't get that. But
Yeah, that's what they called that guy that was puking right there.
oh, okay.
Lard ass.
I see.
He ate the pies and puked out. It's a story that he told.
Robert Connors in the
Oh,
chat.
I love this movie. This is a comedy, but it's one of those racy movies.
What's that? I remember the scene. What's this one?
Bachelor Party.
Oh yeah, when they
Oh,
showed the
okay.
donkey show.
Honestly, this movie came out. I wrote it down because I was like, how did I
They showed a
fucking
donkey
see
show.
this?
Yeah, they go
So,
to
yes.
Tijuana.
Yeah. So- It's with Tom Hanks, okay?
I know. I see him.
And
right there
it's
hanging out
mad racy, okay? This is the stripper,
Yeah.
and
You
she
gotta
brings
watch
the
that.
donkey.
Honestly, it's probably PG.
there.
No, it's not.
That's how the 80s was. Though you can show
Really?
titty on PG.
This
and
is my
80s.
favorite
You
scene.
say racy shit.
So I don't know what happens if they're like, oh, let's get
That movie's
his fiance's having her bachelorette party, so let's fuck with her. So he gets this huge ass guy who's got a huge.
huge third leg.
A womp womp?
to go to his mother-in-law, and she ordered a hot dog, and then she's like, "Is that the foot long?" And he put his wiener in a hot dog bun.
Wiener, mind your manners, mind your manners. That fucking.
Hey, wiener's not associated with us.
So there's literally a scene where she's trying to literally pull the hot dog bun with the hot dog off the tray, and she can't get it off.
Cause she's getting
And
him
then
off.
here he realized she's like looking at
getting
him
him off.
gyrate, and they're hysterically laughing.
I'm always mad for
But the donkey was one of like the funniest.
Yeah.
So what's going on here in the chat? I'm gonna have Tanya read this because I love it. Please keep doing it because I do this shit all the time. Read these comments in the chat. This is just whoever this is awesome.
Okay, so first of all, let's see. Minoti Hip Hop says
He gives us a nose emoji,
a nose,
a macaw
a
emoji.
macaw, and a key.
What's up? We love it. Then we get off flames. Then we get back to the nose macaw
I
and
don't
key.
know if anybody knows what that means.
I don't care what it means. It's hot. I like it. So,
Yeah, he likes when people drop randoms. There.
I drop pretzels on Instagram Live all the time. Pretzel emoji, bam.
Family comedy.
Ain't nothing wrong with
E.T.
pretzels.
E.T. was my first movie in the movie theater. And
Is that the movie you want to jump to?
well, we're just doing comedies, so.
E.T.'s not a
That's not
comedy,
a
man.
comedy.
That's a family
Really?
fucking.
I
Dude,
thought it was funny.
that's one of the first movies I literally cried.
Hold on a
But
second.
when
I was
he
crying
gets-
at that movie.
when she
When he's
dresses him
dying
up
at
like
the
a
end,
girl.
I ain't scared to admit that shit. I was crying.
Oh, so
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Minoti Hip Hop
Holy
says
shit.
that means big up.
E.T.'s a movie. And look at
Hold
it
on,
came
wait,
out
wait.
my year.
Are we done with the romantic comedies? Before
Oh.
I want to be done because you thought this was a comedy, so I just want to make sure there wasn't any behind that you thought were that you wanted to get to.
You know
Wanna
what? I
get
have
to-
so many here. Let's see. I think we can just jump to whatever. I'm
So
flexible.
you're watching the
I'm
Mind
good.
Your Manners podcast.
Yo, mind it.
If you're watching on, shout out from Costa Rica. Like and subscribe to our channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please watch it on YouTube. But if you're staying on Facebook, we love you still.
E.T. is a great fucking movie, dude.
Is that where we're going, E.T.?
I guess let's
we
go
just started
there.
talking about it.
Are we done with romantic comedy? That's what.
Yeah,
that's
we're
what-
done.
We're
All
done.
right,
We're
everybody
done.
relax. We all having a good time. We are done with
No, I just
romantic
want to make sure so we
comedy.
don't have to go back.
Absolutely.
I was giving you your.
Yeah, we're done, kid.
Thank
we're
you.
done.
I appreciate
We're
it.
fucking done, kid. We're done.
If you don't know,
Everyone's happy.
I do
Everyone's
music
happy.
videos. I see you're a hip hop fan. I've probably done music videos for all your favorite rappers. Oh my God! Nah,
Mind your
bitch.
manners
Nah,
podcast.
bitch is here.
Nah, bitch. What's up, nah, bitch?
Elliot.
Nah, bitch says he's hella late. It's all good, bro.
It's all good, man.
Better late than never.
Were you here last
We
night?
haven't even hit the best movies yet, bro.
Were you here last night when Sticky Fingers was in here? Let us know in the chat. All right, here we go.
Elliot.
We're talking E.T.
You guys talk. I'm gonna
Elliot.
smoke this.
This movie is amazing, and I'm telling you, like I said, I like Drew Barrymore. One of her
Yeah.
first movies.
This is when she first started doing
When
drugs.
he
Right?
is dying, and Elliot's like screaming for him at the end. Spoiler if you haven't seen it.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
It's
E.T.
been out since I've been alive, so.
I didn't have
Yeah,
time
yeah,
to
that
do-
shit made me like I was a kid going. I was crying, dude.
Look
You know
at
what I mean?
AT, so cute.
Oh yeah, that's isn't that Wendy Williams though?
Mind your manners, mind your manners.
That's not no Wendy Williams.
Little Easter egg when they
There
go.
he is. Yo, you know the best part about this scene right here. Look at who he stops and talks to, Yoda,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because George Lucas is Steven Spielberg's buddy, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So we
yeah.
put that little spoiler, in, and then if you watch The Phantom Menace, that came out in 1999, there's a scene you could pause, and there's E.T.'s race there. There's a bunch
It's
of little
true.
E.T. people. So
It's
it's like
true.
E.T. stops because he recognizes Yoda.
He's like,
No
how is
shit.
he
That's
here?
straight. He goes, "Yo, shit, Yoda? What's up, Yoda?" And you stop.
What's up, my
Little
dude?
Star Wars reference right there for you, bro. Bruh.
What's up, my dude?
That movie's great though. That's a movie you could put if you got kids that are fucking from like
you got
5,
kids.
6 to like 10. You
Yes.
can put that on,
It's such a
and
good
then
movie.
we'll sit down and watch that movie.
E.T. Yeah, they get sad at it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It makes you, but it's better at the end when they save him and he goes back to his home and it's happy at the end. The guy with the keys that scares you because they never show him. All they show is his keys and his feet. Remember?
Yeah.
And then at the end, he wasn't even the bad guy. He was trying to help him. I mean, he was trying to help him get back to his people. The government was the bad people. Don't trust the government, yo.
The
Conspiracy,
government.
The government?
Yo, you better not be on 5G, kid.
Oh my God.
E.T. was great movies. Alright, so we're gonna go with those kind of movies? Stand By Me, we said that. Never Ending Story, 1984.
One
That's
of my
another movie you want to cry at, bro.
Abreu.
You want to cry? Yeah. Never ending story, bro. That's
That
another,
is a good movie. You gotta go into that
That's a
one.
great movie, dude. But that's another crime.
What's the movie again?
Never ending story.
Never-
I don't think I saw it, so you guys handle this one while I share it to the social
It's
media.
sci-fi. It's science
Yeah, yeah.
fiction.
The kid like reads a book and you go into the
It's
story.
it's what's his name? Isn't it
Shia LaBeouf? Sorry.
No,
Shia
what's
LaBeouf.
his name?
I can't remember his name either. I know who you're talking about.
It wasn't
the fucking Falcor. I wanted to ride the Falcor
right
so
here.
bad.
Look how pretty he is.
Right? I wanted to ride that shit so bad.
It's
dude.
like a furry dog that looks kind of like a lizard.
But the scene when he's pulling the horse.
Oh no!
Kind
That
of movie?
gets me. The horse gets. That's like his boy, and he gets stuck in the mud.
Oh,
There he
yeah.
is there.
That's I don't want to talk about that. Makes me cry.
Oh, it's so
Oh
sad.
my god, it's gonna be the first crying on the episode.
No, we got this. We're not.
Yeah,
we're
we
not
got
gonna.
this.
We're not. And the princess was so pretty.
Oh yeah.
Look, they show a picture of her
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
which
yeah.
blows my mind. Oh,
And she's still hot.
Oh.
I would still do this with my penis.
Look how pretty she was. She really was pretty.
Yeah, for sure. Oh. Ready? You want for another one?
That was definitely good
Yeah.
casting.
Ready for the next one?
Ready.
1986. I know y'all saw it. Flight of the Navigator.
Yes. I
Yo,
don't think CL saw this
How
one.
bad did I want to ride in that spaceship and talk to that alien, dude?
And the spaceship, they did a good job on it.
Now, yeah, the movie was cool as shit, man. It looked like, to me, two, you ever had macaroni and shells? The macaroni shells and
The
cheese?
Velveeta?
Yeah,
The Velveeta shells and
the,
cream?
The Kraft shells. It looked like two shells put together, the spaceship. Look up the spaceship.
Yeah. Let's see if I get it. Right here.
It looks like two macaroni shells, but sober. That movie looks dope, though. Dude. As a kid, you were like, I want to ride
It
in
was
this
so
spaceship,
good. Look,
bro.
there's the inside of the. Oh, watch it, Mr. Dio.
Oh, Mr. Dio fucking with the lights.
We're being attacked.
We're being attacked
It's
by
the
Mr. Dio.
government.
We're down on Facebook,
See,
so
I
that's
told
cool.
you not to trust the government.
But it was like super. It was all like mirrors inside.
Yeah. Right there on the poster. You can see
Yeah,
it looks like two macaroni
Those are the
shells
steps
put
that
together.
disappeared
Or
when
two
he got in.
clamshells. Look at clamshells, on, right?
Make sure you like-
Clamshell?
Click the like button. Click the subscribe button.
Definitely.
That movie was dope. I know everybody's in the chat saying that shit was dope because that shit was dope.
He
Oh,
gets
shit.
to the spaceship in like 1980 whatever.
Yeah.
And then when he finally comes back because he has a good
shit.
old time,
Yeah.
it's like
Did it again.
they thought his family thought he got kidnapped. So it's a great movie.
Oh
though.
yeah, that movie's good.
Really good movie.
So we're down on Facebook.
Okay.
That's cool.
Um,
Sorry,
Just gonna-
Facebook.
Another family movie, Land Before Time,
Oh.
1988, animated movie. Another like tearjerker, right?
Littlefoot.
Littlefoot, right? In the beginning when he's
Littlefoot.
losing his parents, you're like,
Oh,
Jesus
no.
Christ, bro.
It's like
That's
Bambi in
Up.
the
No,
beginning.
it's like Up. You ever seen Up? In
Oh,
the beginning, you cry and
Oh,
be like, I don't want to watch this movie.
It's up the air balloon one.
Yeah, you don't want to watch
look how
this
cute
movie.
the cat. Look how cute Littlefoot is. Look at that face.
Yeah, man, that movie was down.
And Ducky.
That's another. You got kids.
There's Littlefoot
That's another
right
one.
here.
Ducky and Sarah. I found it.
Oh, I found it.
That's what that's from. I've been saying that all the time. I don't even know
I've been
what
saying
it's
that
from.
shit since that came out.
Yeah.
Every time I find something, if I'm by myself or with someone, I go, I found it.
Yeah, you absolutely do.
Oh my god, I need to like
Um,
look up that song later for reals.
Yeah, that was a good movie, though.
That scene. 'Cause
Another,
look at me, I got both
another,
fighters.
like kind of type movie that it was 1989. Brave Little Toaster.
I don't know what the hell.
I
that is.
remember it, but I didn't
Yeah,
like.
you guys were a little older. I remember it though.
Oh, I do remember the Brave Little
Brave
Toaster.
Little Toaster, bro.
Yeah, pop that one up.
And he had a little blanket with him and shit, and like they went on a quest to find their owner.
Yeah,
the
like I
vacuum and
remember
shit.
it, but I was probably older.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time
Having
at babysitter,
problems.
so they just
Sorry, I'm. If you're on the chat, I am reposting to all the social medias while they hold it down in Chinatown.
Yeah, I got the
Oh,
YouTube channel.
Don't get
for me.
coronavirus.
You remember?
Mind your manners.
You remember Lucas? 1986.
Oh,
It
the
was,
film about the.
Corey Feldman.
Yeah, about the
No, not Corey Feldman, Corey
cicada,
Haim. Corey Haim.
cicada, right?
He
The
was
cicada?
he ended up playing on the football team.
Yeah, he was a tiny guy.
Yeah, a little tiny guy
this
with
is
glasses.
not the movie.
It was Corey Haim.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked him better than
Why
Corey
the fuck this
Feldman.
guy keeps coming?
Corey Haim. You remember Lucas? You don't remember Lucas?
I'd have to see it, but I don't think so.
No.
If I saw it, it didn't leave a.
He was a dorky
imprint
kid.
on
Yeah,
me.
he was a nerd
And
kid.
not Charlie Sheen. Yeah, Charlie Sheen was in it.
Charlie Sheen?
Yeah, he was.
Did he have AIDS yet?
Ooh.
He was the football icon, and he like
Yeah,
took
right
him
there.
under his wing to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
and like
Ended up playing in the last game.
shit
Kind of
on
like Rudy.
him. Yeah.
Fucking Rudy
But
kid.
he was
Yeah.
tiny.
Yeah, he's really tiny.
Like really tiny.
Yeah, you saw a picture of me yesterday. I was tiny. That's why I always like those movies, like with the little nerdy kid winning. I was like, yeah, that could be me one day.
That's me.
Another family type movie, Field of Dreams.
Oh,
1989.
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner and,
Very good.
and
If you
James
love
Earl
baseball,
Jones. Yeah, if you love
wanna watch
baseball,
this
that's
movie. It's like an amazing baseball
an
movie.
awesome movie.
It's
Yeah,
like really. Oh,
that's great. Yeah, if
I
you
wrote
build
Kevin
it, they will
Costner
come.
instead of
Right?
Yes,
Right,
that was
that's
the
it. If you
thing.
build it, they will
He
come.
was hearing.
Like Ty Cobb, all the old school people came back and played baseball
Yeah.
in his backyard. Imagine that shit. These ghosts are playing baseball in your backyard. It's all the old school greats. You're like, man, where are all the black guys so we can see some home runs?
He's a farmer and he builds a baseball
mind your
field
manners.
in the middle
Mind
of
your
a
manners.
cornfield.
Mind your manners.
Is this based on a true story?
No.
No.
What, the ghost?
No, the
Building of the building.
no, the building of the baseball field, not the
Ghost?
actual ghost.
I don't know. That is a great movie. If you've never seen that, that's a really good Kevin Costner.
Very,
That was Field of
very
Dreams?
good. Field of
Yeah,
Dreams.
1989. That was a good movie. It's a good baseball movie too. And another great baseball movie came out in '84, way before this was The Natural. Robert
Another
Redford.
good with Robert Redford.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
I
a
remember that
great
movie. That was a
baseball
great,
movie.
another great baseball movie.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you are a lover of baseball, you definitely want to watch those two movies
Yeah,
if
those
you
are-
haven't. It's not
for
even like a
real.
1980s thing. They're just really.
They're just good baseball movies in general.
Absolutely.
Yeah, your kids.
Oh.
If your kids are into baseball, again, they're kid-friendly movies. You know what I mean? All right, this is like a family movie, but
Great
it's kind of not.
story. Yeah,
I
it
know
has
Dio's gonna love
romance. It has all that. Oh, I
You
know
ready?
you're talking about that one.
Fucking La Bamba,
Oh,
1987.
ba-da-da-da-da-bamba.
Ricky.
Oh my god.
How fucking amazing is that movie? I'll let you talk about that, bro.
Una poca de gracia pa' ti, pa' mí. Y arriba, y arriba.
Arriba, arriba. That movie's great, dude.
Not my Richie. That still makes me go, oh, well, hey, how you doing?
That's what I'm saying.
When
right?
she says that and Bob at the end, his scream at the end is a little, it doesn't get me. When she says, not my Richie, and then the guitar comes in and the funeral procession's rolling down the street. When I was a kid, I was like, oh my god.
Bob, okay, rewatch that
Look,
movie.
look.
Is there anything cooler than
It's the
Bob
mom.
coming down the street in his motorcycle in the beginning of that
Who
movie?
do you love?
Coolest thing in cinema, right there, bro.
The story was about a Latino man and a white lady and the love and the rock and roll.
That
It's
sucks because
Woody Woodpecker and Buzz Buzzard.
that sucks. Because
Oh, my head's out.
Buzz Buzzard, Woody Woodpecker and Buzz Buzzard.
Nice man. But Woody he'd be like,
Hopefully we'll stay.
remember his wife? He would always draw the things. You
That
remember?
movie's
You remember
great,
Bamba?
dude.
I don't know. I didn't know. He wanted to be an
remember
artist,
the Bamba.
and then he was a trash man, and they found all like the.
Yeah.
What was it? The things that they traced to draw. I don't know what exactly they were. They were sheets, clear sheets with the cartoon character.
Oh
on them.
yeah.
I don't know if they were slides or what they were, but he found them, and he thought it was gonna change his life forever. And then his brother became famous, and he's just super jealous of him.
Yeah, like the struggle between the two brothers because the mom liked the younger brother Ricky because he was good. Like he didn't sell drugs. He wasn't in trouble. He didn't ride a motorcycle.
Yeah.
He wasn't wearing a little coat. He wasn't drinking. He wasn't fucking.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
mind your manners.
Match manners.
That's the truth. So, it was that whole brotherly competition. And Ricky, of course, was like, he just wanted to give him everything, like his whole family. He was
Think
just
of how
all about
much
the love.
dope music he would have made if he didn't die, though, dude. Because that music was sick, dude. That's
And
still music. You
cross
hear it right now,
boundaries.
you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I gotta move my fucking hips, bro.
It crossed boundaries.
Yeah, for real, dude.
So,
It kind of, like family movie. I'm sure you all read the book if you're our age. The Outsiders, '83.
Outside.
Look at that cast, bro. Tom Cruise. What's
Karate
this guy
Kid,
name?
what's his name? Ralph Macchio was
Dude, Ralph Macchio's in it. Fucking
Emilio.
Dylan. Matt Dillon's in it.
Emilio Estevez.
Yeah, Emilio. This
Patrick
guy
Swayze.
too. Patrick Swayze. Which I was trying to figure his name.
And Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe. Look at that cast, dude. 1983, bro. And that's a book you had to read. So once you read it, you got to watch this dope ass movie. You're like, yo, Pony Boy. What's up, Pony Boy? That's what I'm saying about talking about the '80s reference. I'll drop Pony Boy, and people are like, huh? And then the older people will go.
The Outsiders as a book, I think that was one of the years I went to school in Puerto Rico because I don't remember reading it. Certain years I was
Did you
like,
see the
oh, I
movie,
was
though?
in Puerto Rico. I do remember
It's a
the
decent movie.
Outsiders?
It's
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
like the Lost Boys, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
without the vampires.
Yeah, yeah.
Danny Boy from House of Pain bought the house that they used in that movie and turned it into a museum.
Holy shit, huh?
Isn't that weird?
Dope and smart.
Well, not weird, but I mean, isn't that
yeah,
just
yeah.
a random fact?
Yeah.
I saw it in here, fucking Icy Hot in the Jocks. Oh my god. Nobbin
What?
said he was born in '86. Someone was like, oh my
You're
god.
still in this council?
Yeah, you're still in the council.
Yeah, yeah.
You're 4 at 5 maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Depending on when you're born.
1989, Dead Poets Society.
Oh, another very
Another
good
good book.
movie.
See, there's so many classic movies from the '80s I never watched
Yeah, yeah.
because I kept watching this.
That's a
I
good
kept
one.
watching.
Robin Williams. That's like a Robin Williams where he's funny but he's serious, like a Good Will Hunting type shit.
Yeah,
you know?
like he's like a really good teacher.
Yeah,
at
he's
private
really good in
school.
that movie. Yeah.
And like he tries to help them cope with all the shit
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
gotta go through, you know, because they're white privileged, but they have a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah, there is a lot of white privilege 80 movies.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not like hating on it. Like, hey,
Yeah. Oh, if you're a Tom Cruise fan, Risky Business, 1983. Sliding around in his underwear.
no.
Yeah. It was like one of the first movies I remember spoofing as a kid.
Spoofing?
Yeah, like I like slide because he slid in the
Go in your socks.
in your socks and your underwear with the
Across the
glasses
wood
on
floor.
and shit. Come on, everybody did that shit, man.
Absolutely.
Oh, 1988. Ready?
Was Cocktail around that time too?
I don't know. I don't have that on my list. You have to look that one up. 1988, Rain Man. Tom Cruise.
Another good movie.
And what's his name there? The guy that played Rain Man. Jesus.
Dustin Hoffman?
Dustin Hoffman.
Very good.
Oh,
Dustin
fucking
Hoffman.
awesome.
I don't know if it was
Sacrifice
in the
the Brain.
'90s, but Standing Tall. What's the name of that motherfucking movie? Something when he has the meltdown. What the hell's the name of that motherfucking movie? Was that the '80s or the '90s? Where he has the meltdown in his car and leaves his car in the middle of the street.
Oh, that's Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas. Who are we talking about? Marijuana Affects Your Memory.
You said the right actor, but then you went on the wrong movie. Yes, but we were talking about Rain Man.
Yeah, Rain Man. It's just that's another one of those movies where you can watch and it's still a really good movie.
What's next, Joe?
Glory, 1989.
Wow,
Denzel Washington.
really? I didn't realize it was '89.
Yeah, it was 80, yeah.
That was a good
That's a
movie.
really good movie. That's a Civil War based movie.
If you like historical pieces,
Yeah, that's a really dope ass movie, dude. Oh, dude.
and with our Ferris Bueller.
Fast Bueller, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't make as much movies. He's more Broadway now.
Yeah. 85. I'm sure you've all seen it. The Color Purple.
Oh, with
Oprah's first
Oprah.
movie, right?
That movie is a strong movie.
Yeah,
that movie
that's
is
it.
not for children.
No.
You better have a strong emotional stomach
Yeah.
for that movie.
That's a
'cause
hard
it's-
ass movie.
That's a serious movie.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's a great movie. It's
That's-
another
yeah.
historical piece.
It's something you should show your kids when they get about the age, or they should watch it. You know what I mean? And another
yeah, I
movie
don't
you should
know.
show your kids is everybody should know about the guy Gandhi, 1982.
I never saw it.
Never saw it?
No,
That's
I never
that's
saw
a
that
movie
either.
where you can watch and you're like, damn, this movie's dope, dude.
Yeah, The
it's
Color
long
Purple.
and it's like, it's really long, but it's his whole life, and you're like, holy shit! You think it's just this guy that starved himself for his people and shit, but it's so much more, dude. He was a lawyer at first. He made money, dude. He was rich, and then he went. He did a lot of shit, dude. You know what I mean? That's one of the biggest people in India. You know.
Who's
what
this
I
guy? I
mean?
never heard of him.
You
Wow,
bastard.
Stop.
You
You
dirty
know you heard of
bastard.
Gandhi.
Let us know in the chat what you're smoking
What
on,
you got in the chat?
and
Oh.
whoever has the best weed, we got a giveaway coming.
Oh shit! You gave me this one yesterday.
What is it?
Chestnut
Willow.
seeds.
Willow, that was-
88.
Oh,
Willow
another
was
good
such a good one.
movie.
A
A lot of actors in that one too. Famous actors that
Yeah.
became big, or at least were big in the '80s.
Warwick Davis played Willow.
I'm deleting all the ones we said.
He also
And,
played the Ewok Wicket. What else we got? Oh, Footloose, 84.
Oh,
Footloose.
if we're going on Footloose, if we're not, what exactly are we on?
I'm just I'm sticking away from the action.
Okay.
I'm just doing random movies.
So I'm gonna say I think one of the biggest movies of the '80s is
Footloose.
is Dirty Dancing.
Oh yeah, I got that on there.
Dirty
That
Dancing
was
crushes
nice one.
Footloose.
Yeah.
Footloose.
So three movies that are basic. Those genre movies right there.
Put it like this.
Dirty Dancing, Footloose, and Flashdance, 83.
If Footloose and Dirty Dancing were playing, and they were both artists, right? And they were playing at the same
Yeah,
venue.
I feel you. Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing would be the headliner, but not only would Dirty Dancing be the headliner, Dirty Dancing would still be at the hotel he wouldn't even have taken a shower
Yeah,
yet when
yeah.
Footloose was going on.
Yeah, but Footloose teaches everybody in a snotty town how to dance.
Yeah, and Dirty Dancing is about allowing pedophiles to date your daughter because they're good.
Make sure you like the video,
I
subscribe.
love it too. Who
Yeah,
doesn't love
yeah,
Dirty
yeah,
Dancing? But you know, when you really look at it,
Totally
it's like,
fun.
how old is this guy? How old is she? Like,
All right, Dirty Dancing. That's a good movie, but let me. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Let me tell you something, man.
Love
That was a
over.
weird movie because Patrick Swayze was like my age in that movie, and
Yeah.
she was like a kid.
And he did Roadhouse after that, which
She-
was a badass movie.
yeah, that's a good one.
Just
They were
the
breaking
just that
necks and
movie.
shit.
Just that movie in general. She was supposed to be like a high school kid, and this
I
guy.
know.
You know what I
Look,
mean?
He looks like an adult.
No, he was in real life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. But
That
he,
looks
but like in the thing, he looks like an adult.
Yeah. That's the only thing. Even as a kid, I thought that was weird. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's weird.
Look how young she is.
As a kid, the first time I saw the movie, I thought
Oh.
the girl fell in love with her dance instructor, but I didn't like. I know that's what
Well,
happens,
yeah.
but like I didn't really
comprehend.
comprehend how young she was because I was young.
Yeah.
So it
yeah,
didn't,
she
it didn't
puts
look
this-
weird to me. But when I got older and I watched the movie again, I was like, wait a second, what the hell's going on here?
When she puts this red lipstick on, I'm like, oh, you wearing your mom's lipstick? Like, it just looked weird.
And her dad was from Law and Order, and he was like super.
Yeah.
You can't look at a boy after 5 p.m. on a Friday. You can't go dance with the boys like you crazy. And they were on like some gazebo. They had like a dance, like they were like not line dancing, but like waltzing in the thing.
Yeah.
And then downstairs in like
This-
it was like
they
a
would do
basement.
that one?
They were like fuck dancing.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
it wasn't in the basement. It was in the employee quarters,
Holy fuck,
and they
yeah.
were dirty dancing.
Okay, sorry.
They
Sorry,
poured the
hold on.
water over himself.
They were
Hold on.
doing some
How-
lambada.
How do you
some
hide?
bachata.
How do you hide an erection when your pants are that tight?
Tuck it back.
I guess you can tuck it back.
Or
You
tuck
got
it up.
up into the waistband?
Tuck it up, tuck it
Remember,
up.
he works with a
Tuck it
lot
back
of
and tuck it
good-looking
up.
Up into
women
the waistband.
that have money, so he
See,
probably
I'm doing the
trains
waistband, so I
himself
bust a nut.
to not having it because he'll get fired. You keep losing your hair.
Coronavirus.
Coronavirus. You remember Wall Street?
So we go with Dirty Dancing?
That movie?
You don't have nothing. Hold on. You don't because I just want to know before we move on from Dirty Dancing. Because you're a girl. That was
Not Dirty Dancing.
it was made for you.
Dirty Dancing was like a serious movie. Let's not
Right.
forget that really the reason why they kind of start working together is because the
Oh, don't
original
say it.
dancer,
Don't say it. Coronavirus.
she had a baby coronavirus.
It rhymes
Sorry.
with smortion.
Yeah. So she had to like take over. So
Yeah.
there's this young girl, and then her dad's a doctor, and so the other girl has complications. So he's like, "Really, girl? Not only do you go with the older dude and you
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
this whole dance thing, but you got yourself involved in something, and you know he don't want her to be involved."
He's like, dude, I'm only 16.
And then
but yeah,
It's like, bro,
he
just,
let her be with the.
Okay, refresh my memory.
Older dude.
Spoiler alert. Doesn't the dad end up doing it for her?
No, so what happens is
Bring
she
him home?
goes with her to the appointment, and when she comes back,
Hey, man,
no,
hey, man.
he goes with her to the appointment because it's not his baby. So when they come back from the appointment, shit ain't right.
Yeah.
So he goes to her, and he's like,
Yo, bitch.
no, actually, she goes over there and is like, what's going on? And then she finds out, like, she had the smorsh.
Smortion.
I'm cool.
Mind your manners.
Mind your manners. And no judgment. Judgment, no judgment.
Nope.
There's always judgment. Someone's always going to judge you, but not us. We don't judge. That's why.
Shout out to
that's why
DJ
I'm
Slim in the chat.
What up, DJ Slim? Anyway, so that's what ignites them to start dancing together. And then the lambada in the pants starts happening.
Hey, dance always
Load
saves
up
the
DJ
day.
Slim's logo. Just type in Google.
DJ Slim?
We'll shout him out. Shout out DJ
so-
Slim in the chat.
All I got left is like action, adventure, and horror.
Oh,
Alright, so let's
only
not go there yet.
everything.
Let's finish on Dirty, unless you had any more. Because I think Dirty Dancing was the biggest girl flick of the 80s. Either that or Pretty
That
Woman.
was the other one. The Flashdance was good though.
Either Pretty Woman or Dirty Dancing.
Ah,
Girls still talk about those movies.
Pretty Woman's a terrible movie.
You don't like it?
No.
No?
What, a horror becoming famous? Oh,
No, I mean, you don't have to like the character, but it's still a good movie.
Mm.
You know, I mean,
I wasn't a big Julia Roberts fan. My mom used to watch the movie a lot.
shout out to your son Derek. That's cool. I hope he's
Of age.
of age to
Yeah.
watch it. But if not, you're his dad, so you know what's good for him.
Fuck it.
Fudge it. Say no to drugs, buddy. This is the 2 episodes in a row we didn't have our number one fan. Quarantine Kenny. Just do the hemp hits. Roll the hemp hits up there. That's how.
What?
Roll hemp hits. Number 3. Boom.
Hemp hits.
Third one in.
Third it.
Sorry.
Third it.
So this is DJ Slim. Go check his music out. Follow him on all social media. He's in the chat right now. Follow his YouTube page right there. But so you got nothing for Dirty Dancing, man? I know you were trying to do that, so I don't know if you.
No,
I mean, you said the thing about the Smortions. So
yeah, I mean, like it was a romantic movie, but it had some like really heavy underlying themes.
Heavy panting and sweating.
Yeah.
Sweating.
A lot of dry humping was done watching that movie, I'm sure.
Yeah, if you watch that movie right now and you look at, I mean, rest in peace, Patrick Swayze. But if you look at
It was
just
good, man.
how he was moving and stuff, I'm like, oh my god.
Like this?
Oh my god!
What?
Quarantine Cody just showed up.
What up, Quarantine Cody? Missed you.
Oh my
missed
god!
you.
We were shouting you
Welcome
out.
back.
We shot you out a couple times, and in the last episode, DJ Slim in the chat. Make sure you go buy all his new music. He has a new album right now. I produced a track on it. I forget the number. It's called "Utilize Your High" remix, and it also features
Something
acrobatic.
about weed.
Go buy that shit. Now DJ Slim is obligated to stay in the chat for the rest of the show.
And promote his CD.
Yeah.
He's got a new one out.
Yeah, you got a new one out. But when we loaded it up on the Google, we couldn't get it. Unless you're friends with Tanya on Facebook, you can send it to her right now, or she can load up your new shit. All right, cool. You got nothing else about Dirty Dancing? We're off of the Dirty Dancing.
Nah, it was cool. It was dancing. It was
Oh,
music.
another dancing. Ready? Another dancing.
Hold on.
Patrick Swayze
No dancing.
sings
Okay.
on
Dancing.
the
Ready?
movie.
Crush Groove 85.
Crush Groove
Crush
is huge.
Groove.
You're going to hate me. All hip-hop fans are going to take my car. I never saw none of that shit. But I will say one more dating movie that I liked in the 80s, that I personally liked this movie. A movie that I liked was Roxanne.
Oh, yeah.
When Steve Martin had the big old
Yeah,
nose.
yeah.
Yeah.
When he
Oh,
With
yeah,
the girl from
Cyrano.
Smash.
It was the Cyrano
Um,
story about the guy the guy that
Yes.
tells the hot guy how to pick up the chick.
Yeah, he
I don't know what
basically.
you're talking about.
So the original concept of Roxanne is Cyrano, who
Cyrano.
basically was a ghostwriter,
Okay.
and
He was like the suave guy, but he was goofy as shit. He had a big nose. He was ugly. He couldn't get the chick, and he told the hot guy how to, because he was goofy. The hot guy was goofy.
Yeah,
But he
he was
didn't
a
know.
fireman.
Yeah, well,
Well,
no,
this-
see,
this he
I'm
was.
talking about the original story.
Oh,
Cyrano.
okay.
He that's how the
Daryl
serenade.
Hannah.
Serenade, that's right. You know what I mean? Let's take it out. Let's take where we come from. I don't even know if it does, but you know what I mean. But so that's he shows the hot guy how to pick up the chick, and then the chick finds out at the end that it's really the ugly guy that I should be banging. That's funny.
it's Daryl.
Yeah, there you go.
Hannah. Oh, not her.
That's like an old school story that the people used to tell.
This movie right here, I watched this movie so many times when I was a kid.
Parents used to tell that story to the ugly kids.
Daryl Hannah.
So they'd be like, hey, you
She
can be
was in
smart and
Splash
maybe
with
get
Tom
laid.
Hanks. That was
Who's
another
Daryl
one.
Hannah? Her or him? The
No,
main...
she's Daryl Hannah. He's Steve Martin.
No, I know, but there's another guy in the movie that
Hannah Montana?
more like it would be him. Then her name is Daryl.
Yeah.
Mind your manners.
Even back then, unisex names or
All right, cool. We're off of that.
you know.
We're off of.
Daryl.
What were we talking about?
Just regular.
Romantic
Romantic
comedies. All right, we're done with them. See you later. Romantic comedies. Get out. Before we go, we're gonna do a couple dabs. Green Thumb Gorillas sponsored our dabs this week.
Green Thumb Gorillas.
I'll give you guys a little view of
Shout out to our
what they gave us to
sponsors.
dab during the show.
Check
You
it,
can
check
see it. I'm not
out.
sure.
Check it out.
Couple dabbies.
Hey, check it out, man.
So if you dab, this is the time to dab, I guess. Next week we have a few segments coming. We have Indo Joe versus the Volcano.
Excuse me, Puff Pass says, or Puff Pass record says, isn't that the lady who played the mermaid?
Puff
And I
Gideon.
think the movie Mermaid. You're right.
Hey, the
but
mermaid
it's
came
called
out.
Splash.
The mermaid came out in
But
the
yes.
80s.
Go ahead, Mr. Dio.
Okay, so next week we're gonna start our segments. Indo Joe versus the Volcano, where I was like, oh, I'll try to clear the bag. No one can clear the bag because it's just so big. So I think we'll time it.
I'll try to.
No, you won't be able to.
I know I won't be able to, but I'm still gonna
All
try.
right, well, he can try it, but I think we
He
should.
has
We should
goals.
time it. We should maybe play the trailer of Joe versus the Volcano, and if he can clear the bag
Go,
before.
Joe, go,
whatever.
Joe,
And we
Joe,
also
Joe,
have
Joe.
a medical minute coming with Chef Tanya,
Medical minute.
where she's going to start the episode by eating we don't know how much milligrams. We'll figure it out.
2,000!
2,000!
$1
And then-
million!
All of our donations, people are welcome to send their samples in. I'm gonna mix it up with some of my stuff. and we'll see what happens. We'll do sweet, we'll do savory, a little bit of everything. We'll see what
Everything.
happens. What we have in the pantry in stock.
So we're just gonna start those next week. We wanted to start on this week, but the volcano was broken because it's my man. But yeah, I just wanted to say that, and we got some chats coming in, babe. You do that while I bust a hot tab.
Absolutely.
Hold on. Let's see. DJ Slim said 16 candles. You can take it from there.
Oh, last like family movie. I gotta say, it's also a Christmas movie. My favorite Christmas movie. A Christmas Story came out in 1983. Like you were saying, like National Lampoon. It's a great comedy Christmas movie.
Yeah.
But A Christmas Story.
You can start.
Something
from,
about it just makes me feel like a kid when I watch it.
Yeah, that's
You know
a
what I
great
mean?
movie.
When they run
The
downstairs,
lamp.
the whole like the anticipation of Christmas, the whole wanting the gift that you really want and not getting it, but then actually getting it, and then like
Yeah, you want a
the
rifle.
whole like. No, I didn't have a fucking pink bunny suit, but I always got some stupid ass sweater
Some
that
shit that you didn't want
somebody
from
made
Cinderella
for me, or
Lane.
mittens. They were like, "Now go put your mittens on and show everybody." I don't want to put my.
My
fucking
grandmother
mittens
used to buy my sister the worst. She must have went to the store that was called "Worst Gifts You Could Get for Somebody,"
on.
and would all with grandma.
Yeah,
She would always buy my
used to,
sister.
I don't want to say it was my grandmother, but it was my grandma. She used to make us sweaters and make us mittens. Always mittens. I'm always like, yo, I need gloves. I need to pick things up. You can't pick things up in mittens.
Or people who would just get you stuff, but they didn't
We got a lot
really
of going on in the chat.
get you stuff. But let's go to the chat.
Let's go chat.
Chat.
DJ Slim was saying that
I got you.
it was
I got
track
you.
11.
I got
the
you.
song
Are
after
you
11,
gonna
check
do
11.
that?
Yeah, you gonna do that.
Okay,
11.
so Quarantine Cody, what's up? Get them ends up. Sorry I missed you guys last night. It's okay. He was working. Thank you for working. DJ Slim says Beach Street, 16 candles. Word. Isn't that the lady played the mermaid? Yep, we already did that. DJ Slim says, Joe, you got this.
I got one. Oh yeah, I
In
got.
terms of like that.
Oh, I got it. My balls are big.
And that I'm gonna be. He says I'm gonna be high from eating all the medibles. I'm so happy. I'm very looking forward to it. Hectic says Dabulous.
That's me.
DJ Slim says it's the best movie ever. Christmas Stories.
Oh, it is, dude. Like, I know they always play it like at Thanksgiving, like for 24 hours or whatever, but like,
Oh!
damn man, you've been knocking shit over all day.
And then he
like-
gonna
like-
say that he not high or he not fucked up. But he been not
spoiler
sure.
alert, my birthday's
What are you
Christmas Eve.
doing?
But I always have to watch it on my birthday. It makes me feel like okay, I
kid?
feel like Christmas now.
Oh, okay,
Once
I
I
got
watch
you.
it, you know.
What
And then I
else?
watch Harold and Kumar at Christmas and get all high.
Heard.
Don't forget Uncle Buck. We said Uncle Buck. We said Caddyshack.
Yep.
If you was here on time,
Yeah.
you would have heard us say it.
Yeah, DJ Sim says you pick things up and put things down, but he don't put them down. He just knocks them down.
Yeah, I knock
He
it.
knocks.
I've knocked so much stuff over.
He puts.
Oh, yeah.
He knocks things down and doesn't pick them up.
Well, I don't want to be picking it up during the podcast.
Well, that makes sense.
We're gonna pick them up with your butt.
I'm just playing. It's just a jokey joke.
All right, let's move it on then.
I got
Moving
the
on.
last categories that I have are horror or action adventure. Horror is really short.
Or
Okay,
I'm
alright.
sure, right?
For me, it's really short. Okay, one of my jams was from '87, Lost Boys. Keith Sullivan
Yes.
and Dracula. Fuck, that movie's dope.
Lost
dude.
Boys?
That's
a
the
horror
one
movie?
that I said it was like
Well,
the
it's a vampire movie.
It's like the outsider meets vampire movie.
Yeah, that movie's dope as shit,
Did
dude.
the Lost Boys, the rap group, name themselves after the movie?
Maybe, I don't know. I never asked them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they've ever been asked that in an interview. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, I don't know. Gremlins, '84.
Gremlins, I remember.
Gremlins is a dope ass movie.
Shout out to Fireball for sponsoring the episode.
I almost knocked that over.
Oh, Gremlins is a great
You
movie.
know that
I'm just joking.
they're trying to make a remake of that.
Oh, just leave it alone. That's a good movie. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
'82, The Thing. Kurt Russell. Oh, that's
Dirt
a great
Russell from Weekend Warriors?
one. Dirt Russell. Dude, Nightmare on Elm Street. It
Yeah,
started-
Nightmare on Elm Street was
Yes,
good.
that
84,
was
bro.
scared the shit
I
out of
never
me.
was really into them then, but I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
when I was a kid once, when I lived in New York, I was, what year did it come out?
84.
So probably like 1987. I
That
went
was the first
downstairs. I went downstairs and my dad was watching HBO, and like
Creepy
does
as
he
shit.
turn into a bug in one movie or
I
a
think so.
spider or
A
something?
Just the fucking everything turns into a bed.
That's all I saw of the movie, and I was like, oh. And I tried to act like I wasn't scared of it. Like, oh, I'm going back
Yeah,
upstairs
yeah,
to
yeah.
watch Bret Hart wrestle. I was like, I was so scared of that shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't know about
But I
the
never
Nightmare
watched
on
the
Elm
movies
Street,
really. A couple times in my life.
Good.
This
I've
guy
not seen them,
here,
but I've never like watched them.
Yeah.
his name was Freddie. Apparently,
He's funny.
some parents.
If you would watch it and
Killed
think
him.
of funny, and just ignore the killing and just
Yeah,
funny,
he's
it's
like,
a great
that's
movie.
true.
You know
He
what I
has
mean?
great
You as a
one-liners.
kid, you won't get scared.
Here's a Mind Your Manners exclusive. Fucking Freddy Krueger was what was the guy's name that
Robert Englund.
Robert Englund. All right, so me and Joe's uncle was
Me
a
and Joe's uncle.
television producer and director. His name was Jack Riley, rest in peace. And he produced Good Morning America. He has an Emmy for
All
it.
through the 90s.
He has an he has an Emmy for it. And he had how do I say his name again? Robert Englund.
Oh yeah, Robert Englund.
He
Yeah.
had Robert Englund on Good Morning America as Freddy Krueger. So Freddy Krueger was never scary to me because I was
Oh yeah, you knew. Yeah, you
like
knew
I was
what
like,
to
oh shit, this guy's just an actor. And he's
say.
playing
Yeah.
Michael Myers.
yeah,
Oh my god, Michael Myers. What?
see, that came out in the 70s.
I don't know.
Yeah, those.
I
80s
don't
movies,
remember
though.
which.
Yeah, Michael Myers.
Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
I don't remember
Friday
which
the
Nightmare
13th.
on Elm Street.
1980.
Which one
Jason,
it was?
Friday the 13th.
Sorry, hold on. Stay on Friday the Nightmare on Elm Street. What did you say?
I was saying I don't remember which Nightmare on Elm Street it was, but I remember that there's one where it's a shower scene. And like our apartment in the Bronx, the shower looked exactly like that shit.
Yeah.
So every time I came into the shower, it was like the what is it, the Cloverfoot tub,
Yeah.
and then the curtain, and I'd always be like,
The one where
Like-
he's in
No.
I can't read that.
I don't
The
remember
one
which
the
one
one
it
where
was.
she's in the tub.
It comes up like
Yeah,
this,
she's
right?
in the tub and it comes out.
yo,
Yo, that shit creeped me out as a kid. Even though I was like, yo, Freddy's funny. But like the one I just said, Friday the 13th.
yeah.
Jason creeped me out as a guy because you couldn't kill him.
I didn't watch
You
Friday
couldn't
the
kill
13th.
him.
I didn't fuck with that nigga.
Nah, you couldn't.
I
kill
didn't
him,
watch
dude.
Friday the 13th much. I said Michael Myers and he said 70s, but I'm like, yeah, you're talking about that first one, but
Yeah, the first.
I don't even know if that first one was the 70s.
I think it was 78 to be honest.
But
Mm-mm.
there was so many Michael Myers movies in the.
somebody throw it in the chat.
First
someone,
of all,
who's our fact checker?
yeah, someone
Where's
throw
Hectic?
it. But like, he knows the way I watch horror movies is like this.
And I'm like, this.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I
And
don't
if
have
we're
a lot
watching
of
it in the
horror.
house, I'm like,
That
we
was
gonna
it.
watch it in the daytime, right?
No, I got one
We're
you
gonna watch it
didn't
in the
say.
daytime, right?
In the chat, there's one in the chat you didn't say.
He's-
Is Poltergeist in the 80s?
Oh, Pet Cemetery. I'm sorry, 87.
That's
Because
one.
Poltergeist
I never
fucked with
scared
that.
the
Pet Cemetery
shit
is good.
out of
That's a good
me.
movie.
Let me tell you something. Hold on.
To that point where I came out of the movie theater shaking.
Stay Poltergeist. Because I don't have much to say about Pet Cemetery. But I'm going to say something
Okay.
interesting about myself. I've watched some of the most fucked up things happen to human beings
Yeah, I can't
on
watch that
video.
shit.
Like some of the things I try to show her, she's like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "Look at this guy; his whole scalp fell off."
Sorry, I just
Yeah,
can't.
yeah.
If,
You know what I mean?
especially if it's
But I
real.
can't watch
It's cool.
movies
That's
that
somebody's
pets
stop.
die in.
Yeah.
Like I had to take we took my nephews to see the Harrison Ford movie. There was a Harrison Ford movie
Wild.
Just-
called
it
The
just
Wild,
came out,
and I had to read. I had to like think about the book. I'm like, how's that book end? Does that book end with that dog dying?
Yeah.
Because I ain't with it.
Marley and Me.
Nah, so
I never seen it.
I knew what it was about. So
I
never
watched it once and I didn't like it. I'll
That's
never
like
watch it
the
again.
old, that other.
It's
the
a
old
great movie
Old
until the
Yeller.
end.
I've never seen Old Yeller
You
because
ain't
I know
gonna-
how it
yeah.
ends.
Say what you were gonna say about Poltergeist.
Oh, I said it already. That Poltergeist. I don't remember which one it was, but I remember that I saw it in a movie theater in Puerto Rico. And I came out of the movie theater because my stepdad wanted to watch it, and my mom was like the whole time. She's too young. You know?
Yeah.
I was literally like this. Poltergeist fucked my
Oh.
shit up
Yeah, the
because shit happened in the
One chat you didn't
daytime.
say.
hold on.
Shit happened in the
I don't know what
nighttime
to-
in
I don't know what to
Poltergeist.
say. It came out in 1980, The Shining.
Oh, The
Oh.
Shining.
Yeah.
That's not it, but that's a huge one. That's huge.
You know what? See, that one is not as scary to
There's
me.
a good one.
Like,
There's
certain
another good
things-
one in the chat.
That's still
certain
a
types
dope
of scary
movie
movies,
though.
yes,
That's as old as you and that's still a dope ass
All right,
movie.
Start
let's
from
see
here.
what they're saying
Start
in the
from
chat.
here.
So, DJ
Here goes
Slim
right here.
says Child's Play.
Oh, fuck!
Damn it, you
Okay.
motherfucker!
Okay.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. It came out in the 80s.
He
It's
says, just don't mind the killing. Indo, so funny.
Damn it.
Quarantine Cody says it's Call of the Wild, the
Yeah.
one with Harrison
called-
Ford.
Yeah.
And then DJ Sim says Cujo and Christine were great
Cujo.
scary movies.
Yeah.
Christine, I remember that one.
I
What was
watched.
that?
So Christine was like the girl, the high
Cujo
school
was the
girl.
dog.
The blood up? Did she get the blood on?
No, that's
Carrie.
Carrie.
Carrie,
Christine
okay.
is no. It's sorry. It's not about high school. Christine is about a
I
muscle
think I know
car.
the one. What
That
about-
a muscle car that's possessed.
Yes, yeah.
And
Oh,
it's the dorky guy from. He was in a bunch of movies too. I can't think of the movies. But anyway, he starts as a geeky guy, and then like the soul of the car starts making him change. So all of a sudden he's wearing like a leather jacket, and basically like the car kills anybody.
Oh, I remember that now.
That
Yeah.
pisses it off. But
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
beautiful red muscle car.
So
I think
bad.
I want to say
What?
it's a Mustang.
gotta watch this
What?
shit.
I love that movie.
It goes right here.
I
It says,
was like,
Quarantine Cody says a 1954 Plymouth Fury.
thank
there
you.
you go.
And it was red, right? I'm pretty sure it was red. Quarantine Cody, back me up or correct
We
me.
got some more coming in.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's technically a scary
Ooh.
movie, and I don't even know
Okay,
if
go
it
ahead,
came
Joe,
out
sorry.
in the 80s, but Fire in the Sky. Remember
I
that
don't know
one?
that one.
It was like an alien one or something.
Steven Spielberg?
I think it was Spielberg. Oh, that shit scared the hell out of me, dude.
Oh, these
I think it was
next
called
two,
Fire in the Sky.
definitely people are gonna agree. DJ Slim says Candyman.
Candyman.
Don't say that no more.
Don't
Nope.
say it.
That's it. And then Heritage says Children of the Corn.
Yeah.
Children of the
Oh, it's
Corn.
pretty children.
I seen it, but I remember that I saw it.
Oh, yeah. That's scary as shit.
Harry and the Hendersons, right?
The little kids, the little blonde
DJ
kids.
Slim, we already
Right,
saw,
Children
we
of the
already
Corn?
said E.T.
The children of the corn was the little blonde kids.
Yeah,
That's-
exactly.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
All right,
Down
so-
the white
Quarantine
eyes.
Cody, sorry, he just co-signed me. It was a red card. Thank you.
The only movie that ever really scared me was the Halloween series because it's the only scary movie that it's like it could really happen.
Yeah, he's just a crazy
It's
guy.
just he's just a mental patient that just
It's
happens
strong.
to be big
and strong.
and strong, and it always scared me. So I remember when I was a kid and it was the 80s, and my cousin was that a bug or a
Damn, I
not a
can't
bug,
believe
it's
I
a feather.
forgot Child's Play.
My cousins were in town and
Scary.
he put on a Michael Myers mask and he was in the window of my living room and I was watching. I might have been watching
That must have
Halloween.
been creepy as fuck.
And
dude.
he just tapped on the window and I looked at and he was standing there with that fucking mask on.
Holy
That shit scared me so much. I ran up. I still remember. Like I still remember.
See, I would have been like, bro, you got to change my drawers now and clean my ass.
I
because
only
can
ever-
shit myself.
As a kid, I only ever
That would have
had.
scared the fucking shit out of me, bro.
As a kid, I only ever had nightmares of Michael Myers, wolves, like talking wolves, like wolf monsters,
What?
and running slow.
See, I had the running ones.
Why
I had the
was
running ones
so
where
scary?
Like something's happening, I can't
Oh
get away
yeah,
from it.
exactly. I still get those. I
That's
wake up
it.
like, fuck.
Honestly, I never watched it. I thought it was funny. Like, this dude was funny to me with this mask. I was
Really?
like,
That
look
shit
at this
was
dude.
When you watch the
I was
first
never
one,
scared.
the original one,
Yeah, he's
It's
driving.
so-
he's
it's
driving
so
the
bad now.
station wagon.
he's driving a station wagon for the whole.
I was laughing. Those were the ones where I was like, this is hilarious. You know why? Because in the city, there's mad looking weird people. And on the train, you'll see people that, have schizophrenia, whatever. So, like, that was not scary to me. I'm like, that's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
everyday.
They both came out in the 80s, but I like the second one better, Alien and Aliens.
Yeah.
Oh,
A-
yes.
Aliens.
I had that written down.
Aliens
That's
was
a
better.
good
Even
one,
the
Joe.
second
Even
one
the
was
video
better.
game was super fire.
Yeah. That's technically a horror kind of.
Oh, yeah, I would say so.
But is that? No, I wasn't done with Michael Myers, man.
Oh, my
If we're talking
bad.
about horror, he was the scariest one to me, because
We could
yeah,
say
the first
he's
one, the
back.
first movie's cheesy when you look at it, but what
The Rob Zombie one.
the '90s ones, like they're cheesy too, but I was a little fucking kid.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
'80s and the '90s one, I don't know if there's any in the '90s. Well, there was in the '90s like H2O and all those other
Yeah, was
ones.
he like partying with?
But they had like
Red Man?
5 '80s ones.
Oh, and
4 or
she
5
was in
80s
it
ones,
too.
you know what I mean?
Um,
They had one he wasn't in. Like they had mad
Jamie Lee
80s
Curtis.
ones of the
Yeah.
Halloween. Remember they had the one where like he killed the guy with the garden hoe? Not the hoe,
the garden hoe?
something like it wasn't not a hoe, but the one with the 3 prongs.
Oh yeah, pitchfork.
No, it's the one for you.
That
You
is
hold
the
it.
that
You
is
hold
the
it in
hoe.
your hands, a handheld one, and you. Do it.
Yeah. It has 3 like this, but that
Yeah.
is a hoe. I thought.
Okay, then he killed him with the hoe. Oh, yeah, mates. But
I don't think that's how.
these ones scare me when I was a kid. Maybe not the movies themselves, but just the build up and the music and the sound,
Yeah.
and then the.
I didn't like how he would chase you, and then you'd get away, and you turn around and look, and he's far away, and then you run, and then you turn back again, and he's right next to you.
Yeah, they
That
had
shit creeped me out.
they had to
Like,
give
how
him
is he
something.
that fast?
They
Dude?
had to give him something.
Yeah, super speed like Superman.
We got some chats coming in.
Chatting up.
Let's see. Quarantine. Sorry, DJ Slim, Christine with the car. Yep.
Yeah.
That was a great movie. That car was amazing, and he turned evil. Endo said you have to change my drawers and wipe my ass. LOL. You can't make this shit up.
You got
I've experienced
That would've
paranormal
scared me,
activity
man.
before. That's what GTTV says.
GTG.
Some movies give me the creeps. No lie. I was never scared of Chucky though. Fuck Chucky.
Yeah, see, maybe it's because we were
GTGTV.
kids, but like,
GTGTV.
When I think of scary movies, I think of like those 80s
They sponsored the
movies.
dabs, so I'm trying to find that.
You know what I
Green Thumb
mean? That shit's
Gorillas.
scary, dude.
She just figured it out.
Like the 90s movies, like Scream and shit. Those were cool thrillers, but they really weren't like scary, dude. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Green Thumb Gorillas for
I
sponsoring
don't-
the
like I said, maybe
dabs for the episode. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
In the 80s, but the
Well, also
horror
could
movies
be-
scared me when I was a kid.
It depends because
Pet Cemetery scared the shit out of me.
went sci-fi.
I was like, yo, I never want to go to a cemetery again, dude.
I could be okay with it, Joe. If it
Yeah.
went sci-fi, but
I
if it
have-
went scary, I couldn't. Go ahead, Mr. D.
There was some I don't remember what it was, but I was in like 4th grade. We used to watch this sci-fi show, and it was like some nerdy show that we learned things. But they used to play this creepy ass music in the beginning, and it was this creepy ass like sci-fi swirling down the universe. And I used to get so creeped out in class because they had the lights off and shit. I'd be like, oh fuck, dude. I'd do one of these in class, and then finally it was over, and I'd be like, all right, I can watch this now. I swear to God, I would get so scared. I was like
What were you
4th
gonna
grade,
say,
dude.
Mr. DL?
So scared,
I
dude.
forget. It's okay though, but
It was the 80s,
I
though.
forget what it was. Marijuana affects the memory.
I thought it was gonna be something about Green Thumb Gorillas.
No. Well, shout out to Green Thumb Gorilla. Shout out to Sunbee in the chat.
They're
Shout
our
them out.
sponsors for tonight. Mind Your Manners podcast.
So yeah, if that's it for horror,
I
I want to add Tremors to that.
Oh,
I
that's a
think that was
great
hard.
movie.
That's suspense.
Is that 80s?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Has
The
to be.
first Tremors.
It has to be. Look it up, babe. Tremors.
That movie is
1990.
awesome. though.
I
love
always
that movie.
thought every
It's
time
1990, so we can't talk about
Tremors 1.
I told
it.
you.
1990.
Damn.
Next.
Well, they
we
filmed it
don't
in the
talk about
80s. What?
They filmed it in the-
Stop. Moving on. It's okay to move on. It's okay to make
All
a
right,
mistake.
sorry. I'm taking Tremors off the list.
It is an awesome movie though, and we didn't talk about it in the 90s, so.
You guys.
I think I'm done with horror. Oh, it's no, that's not.
Well, there's got to be one more we're
I
not
got
thinking.
pop.
If not, we're going to keep it moving. If anyone has a list in the chat, now's the time.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
what about the one with the
Oh, good.
Exorcist?
Extras.
I never watched that one, but that one
I
was
think
big.
that was the 70s.
Is that the one where he has the shit coming out of his face?
That's the one with the
That's
chick.
the-
Gets
the
the chick
priest?
spins her
Yeah.
head around.
Oh,
she
okay.
pees.
Exorcist. Yeah.
I think
That's
that's
Wait,
70s.
what about the one with the...
70s.
Remember the one with they all have white faces and it's like a box with the spikes? He has like nails and all.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
what I was
Hellraiser.
saying. Hellraiser.
Yeah,
Hellraiser.
was that
That's
80s
the
or
80s.
90s?
That's the 80s, I'm telling you.
That was a good
That's
one.
a
That
scary-
scared the shit out of me.
Pinhead.
It was fucking
Right, his
creepy.
name's Pinhead.
Yeah.
Right? Super genius thinking that name. The guy with pins all in his head.
1987. Fucking creeped me the fuck out. This guy, I don't
That
know why.
round
that
table was genius.
was
That
so
What's his name?
creepy.
I don't
I don't
know.
know. He's got a bunch of pins in
No,
his head.
what's his name? I don't know. His skin looks weird right there. Skin face.
Like, no, that sounds that sounds racist.
Oh, my man.
Well, let's put a bunch of pins in his head and call him Pinhead.
Yeah, I never watched this movie
With
actually,
this
but I know what
fucking
it is.
box of
Hellraiser,
the
yeah.
devil box.
Yeah, that's just scary, dude.
I know what it is, but I never watched it. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I can't lie to you guys. The Michael Jackson Thriller video was kind of scary when I was a kid.
For sure.
I didn't.
Because you were a little older when it came
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
you know
I
what
was
I'm
a
saying?
kid,
I was
man.
like 4 when it
Yeah,
came
I was
out.
scared as shit, bro. I was scared as shit, and I was like,
Oh, we got Children of the Corn scarred my childhood.
for real.
Hectic in the chat.
I can't really remember this damn movie, and I know you said we saw it, but like I had that
Children of the
option
Corn?
where I just don't remember.
I never said you saw it. I said I saw
I
it.
thought we saw it.
No,
You
they've
saw
done
it, I saw it.
spoofs. The Simpsons spoofed it.
Yeah, I've never
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
this movie. I don't like movies with little kids.
Yeah.
Little kids
yeah,
are
it's
creepy as
creepy.
fuck.
It's creepy.
They're cute in romantic comedies and family movies.
No.
But you have a kid in a scary movie, I already know I ain't gonna like that shit.
I don't like kids.
They just
All right, I think we're good. with
somehow
horror.
like kids.
Horror
I'm
is
just
good.
kidding.
Where we
Look
at?
how creepy
I'm done
this
with
kid
horror.
looks.
Good action
While we
adventure.
transfer to the next topic.
What's left? Action
All I got
adventure?
is left is action adventure, bro.
Let's
That's
do
all
it.
I got.
All right, you're watching the Mind Your Manners podcast. Please like and subscribe.
All right,
Comment in the
I'm
chat.
Just gonna blast
Hit the
off.
bell.
Share us.
For
You're live right
notifications.
now, but all the episodes live forever.
Mr.
This is-
DL.
This is All Thing 80s Part 2.
80s.
Last night we
I
covered
did.
everything in the 80s except
Pardon.
music and movies. We started with music and Sticky Fingers called in and YouTube crashed, so we
Here's
decided,
one.
you know what, instead of starting over, we're just gonna we're just gonna
Just-
call it that, and we're gonna start with a Part 2, and here you are,
Two
Part 2.
steps to the future.
We have a Facebook page,
No looking back.
Mind Your Manners Podcast.
It's
We're on
okay. We'll just
Instagram.
roll with it.
Okay.
We have a
Whatever it
Facebook.
is.
We have a Facebook page, Mind Your Manners Podcast. We have an Instagram
It's
page,
like it.
Mind Your Manners Podcast.
Okay, you ready?
Go.
No.
1986. It's a great movie back then.
We're going in order of date, or we're going?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying the year it came out, 1986. Great movie back then. Great movie for the few years after that. But you rewatch it. Sorry. Top Gun.
Yeah, I had Top Gun on my list.
Top Gun, man. It's a great movie,
Very
but it's
good.
like the part with them playing volleyball on the beach, high-fiving each other. Dude, man.
High-fiving?
Yeah,
Touching hands?
I didn't mind that part.
That's just corny as hell. That's just corny as hell, man.
They're showing bodies.
Don't they know about the coronavirus?
But that is
Coronavirus!
that is a dope ass.
Hi, Cardi. My
Mind your
Bronx
manners, mind your manners.
sister.
This is a
What's
great
up,
80s
girl?
movie. When you think of the 80s, bro, you know what I mean? Top Gun.
Yeah, I like Top Gun. I can't
Top
lie.
Gun, bro. Top Gun's a great movie.
Wait, hold on. Did the new one come out yet?
Nope, it's still.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. You know,
Because he wants to go to space and film his next movie.
Yeah, you know he really filmed in a jet in the new one.
Yeah, he's got a death wish.
Romantic
All right,
comedy.
I don't
he's
wanna-
a
romantic
scientist.
Hold on a
action
second. Hold on a
drama.
second.
He's a scientist.
He's a scientist. He's a scientist, big in his position. I don't want to divert, but I heard today that Will Smith was a Scientologist. I never heard that before.
What?
Yeah, I didn't
Is that
know.
why his kids so
You
weird?
did divert, and that's not today's topic.
Match.
I don't know.
80s.
Could be second.
80s
Top
movie.
Gun.
Ready?
Top Gun. Great soundtrack.
1987.
Yeah, good sound. Hold
You're
on.
gonna love this
Hold
one.
on. Top Gun was a good. That's a movie. Top Gun that kids liked and their parents liked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
That was.
Yeah. You
yeah,
can bring the whole
And there was
family
some
with it.
sexy
Yeah.
parts. He
Yeah, you
takes
can
her
bring the
on
whole
top
family.
of the-
And all you had to do was this when
kitchen.
the titties came out.
Top
I
of
mean,
the kitchen.
my parents used to do that. Oh, titties. And I'm like, I just watched the guy's head blow off, and you showed me that, but you won't show me some nip. I got nipples.
How'd they do it?
I got
I
nipples.
got nipples. Hi, Cardi B.
All right.
Oh, shit.
Top Gun. You got anything to
I love
add to
you
that?
crazy.
Baby?
I'm sorry?
Do you have anything
Goose,
to add to
man.
that?
That was sad.
No, it was good.
Mine's bad,
Sexy
mine's bad.
man. There was a lot of
Spoiler alert.
action, a lot of
Sad
sweaty
Goose side.
bodies, a little romance. But you know me personally, I don't like romance stories in my action stories.
Yeah.
I
Yo,
just like
look
my
up,
action
look up,
stories,
look
but
up.
that's just me.
This is a quick one. I don't know. Tom Cruise now and this chick now, right? She looks like she's 105. And Tom Cruise looks like he aged like 2
Isn't
days.
it this picture right here?
Oh,
Oh, wait, no, I can't do that
my
one.
God. No, that's, they had to
This
get a new chick
video.
because I'm telling you, the chick that played the old
Okay,
one
hold
is
on.
fugly.
Let me see.
She did
I'm
not age
gonna
well.
Fugly Beaver girl.
Oh.
Past.
Shout out to Fugly People Girl.
Oh my God!
Play it up. Play it up.
I'm sorry. You know what? I'm not gonna say
No,
that.
let me see it. I'll give her the horn.
Oh my God. Look at how bad, like, I don't know, Tom Cruise, maybe because he's a scientist.
I think maybe she's just standing in a way that is not flattering because that's like a jacket that she's wearing, like a windbreaker or something. Okay, this is definitely a bad picture of her.
Oh my God. He's a scientist. Mind your manners.
Joe Mayonnaise, bitches.
And no judgment. Maybe she hasn't worked and she
Yeah,
doesn't
you're right,
have
you're
that
right,
Tom Cruise money,
Maybe
so
she
hasn't
started
been
a
able to
cooking show and just ate
maintain.
everything.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, how old is Tom Cruise? Honestly, that
Same
isn't
age.
what he would look like if he was Thomas Cruise who worked at the car lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. Like, stop it. So I'm not making fun of that lady because this guy has to be in his late 50s.
Oh, he's the same age.
No,
That's her.
How old is she?
Probably the same age, I don't know.
Look, this is
Yeah,
like
but I'm just
a
saying he
now
wouldn't
and
look like that
then.
if he wasn't Tom Cruise the
Yeah.
actor.
Now and then.
Coronavirus.
He took the elixir of life.
All right, we got some chats
Ready?
coming in.
I got a next
Some
one.
chats?
Let's do these chats so we can move on and
All right,
to the next one.
absolutely.
shows
So
up.
Quarantine Cody says, might have mentioned it last night, but Poltergeist.
We
yes.
just mentioned it right now. Yeah,
I
yeah.
was just so
Oh.
scared shitless of Poltergeist.
You
Like,
just might have been an older chat. We didn't get to. Yeah.
when the TV goes static, better turn the TV off.
Yeah,
Unplug it. Make sure it goes off.
That's when you're running the other room.
Carrie, they're all gonna laugh at you. So scary, and that's DJ Slim. They're all gonna laugh at you.
No.
So mean. Let's see. DJ Slim also says Michael Jackson Thriller when his eyes change colors. I pissed my pants. I guess a lot of people were scared.
Yeah,
I
that shit was
wasn't
scary. I was a kid because I was a kid. You wasn't a kid. I was a kid.
And then he says this podcast is fun to listen to while you're trimming weed. Hey, do you? Black marijuana market matters.
Fucking A, it does.
Black market marijuana matters.
It does.
Hectic says, Hellraiser has the most sequels than any other movie.
He's right.
Really?
It's got like 15, shit like that. Hey, did you drop something else?
No, I moved that on purpose. That one time.
I think I only remember seeing the first few, and then I was just
You
like,
remember Pinhead though when you see him.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
you know what? I don't know if I want to see
That's
more.
when you know you killed a horror movie, when your character can just be like, you've never seen the movie, but you know the character.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, alright, I can.
Yeah, that guy, the Pinhead guy.
Yeah. Alright, can I bust the next movie?
Yeah, do it up.
You ready?
Bust the move.
1987.
If you
Awesome
want.
war movie. You never seen it? Full Metal Jacket, bro.
Full Metal Jacket.
Right.
Good. Mr. DL knocking shit over again. We need to have a rewind the scenes camera like going on.
Full Metal Jacket's
Full
on
Metal
my
Jacket,
list.
man.
What was it? Ever see a
Full
black
Metal
snake?
Jacket.
Holy shit, dude.
That's what the guy said to the girl, right?
Oh,
That's
that
that
could
movie,
mean
right?
so many things.
Just when the drill sergeant is laying into him.
Oh, that drill sergeant is so hardcore, Joe.
Hardcore.
Dude, and then, this is my gun.
I love this guy though.
This is my rifle. I have many like it.
Hamburger Hill coming through the chat.
Ooh,
Full Metal
Hamburger
Jacket
Hill.
for sure. Full Metal Jacket was
Full
on
Metal
my
Jacket,
list.
But this
Just
movie,
this-
dude.
This guy,
Psycho.
that whole
The whole
shit.
beginning of the
Yeah.
movie, you're like, is this the end of the movie? You know what I mean? That was dope, but it was short.
Where's
And
my
then
dad
they
torch?
go to Vietnam.
Yeah.
Dap torch? Am I missing it?
That movie's crazy.
I don't
dude.
know.
You see my torch?
No.
Am I looking right at it and don't see it?
No. I remember that's a movie that I kept wanting to watch as a kid, and my parents were like, "You can't watch it. You can't watch it." And I finally watched it when they weren't home, and it was one of those. It was because of that. Oh, sucky, long time.
Oh,
that whole
man.
part. That was the whole.
Like I don't remember I watched these
Two Live
movies
Crew- Two Live
exactly
Crew
at
took
the
that shit.
80s, or I watched them a
That
little
torch
bit
is over here,
older
but
when
the
they
top
got on
stuff.
cable.
Oh,
but,
don't knock
like,
it over.
I definitely remember watching them. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. That's a great
and
ass
there's some,
movie.
it's great.
That's
movies.
a
There's some, like,
stand-up.
sick shit in this
That's a
movie.
stand-up movie that still, it still stands at that time. You know what I mean?
Alright, keep
Still-
going. Full Metal
Yeah.
Jacket, you're up.
Platoon, 1986.
Another
Platoon
good
was
one.
another one.
Another
They had like
good
a
one.
war movies in the 80s for
yeah.
sure.
They had some crazy good
Definitely,
movies.
Even
they
like the
just
fake
came
ones,
off
like
of
the
that
Rambos.
shit.
and shit.
Yeah, those were great ass movies, dude. What do we got? Lethal Weapon, 87, bro.
Oh,
Lethal Weapon, Mel Gibson becomes a fucking action star, you know what I mean? Well, he was with Mad Max, but Lethal Weapon put him
Yeah,
in.
the Lethal Weapons.
That
I love
shit
those
put
movies.
the
in
whole
everybody's
series
house,
was
bro.
really good.
Die Hard,
Lethal
Lethal Weapon.
And who the fuck knew that he was such a racist?
How do you put it? Die Hard started the genre of the specific genre.
Okay, Die Hard came out in 88.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies. Because it was a reluctant hero. Like, it started that, like...
Let me grab it. It's my-
Alright, he's right here. He's right here next to me smoking,
Oh.
smoking a J with me.
I had the box set I think right behind me.
He, like, it started that movie of, like, where, you're in a place, stuck in a place, and there's one hero that has to save the day, and, like, he gets the shit kicked out of him through the whole fucking movie, dude. Like, that's why I thought this movie was so dope as a kid. Like, it was, like, well, if you watch a lot of action movies, you watch Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, he gets hit, and he gets a little blood, but in the next scene, he's all he's fine, you know what I mean? It's the same day, but he's fine, you know? This movie, at the end of that movie, he looks
Yeah.
fucked up. He looks like he's been through
His
what
feet
you just-
are all bloody.
Yeah,
as fucking.
he is fucked up, dude. He just had an explosion on the bottom on the top of the
Greet them gorillas.
the thing. People like to complain and say this is a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. Just because it takes place at Christmas.
Yeah, take
It has nothing to do with Christmas, bro. It
Yeah.
could have been Thanksgiving, and what are you gonna call it, Thanksgiving movie?
Yeah, he wasn't he wasn't trying to save his wife because it was Christmas.
Exactly.
What do you mean? Look,
No Santa.
Hey, man, ready?
it's
Come
Christmas.
That is a dope scene, though. Yeah, this is a movie that stands the 80s. You know what I mean?
Let's see what they're saying in the comments.
Oh, ready? You making fun of me?
You're making fun
S
of me?
official Yo says Rivera not talking.
He's talking about the shit.
We like you. We like you.
We like you.
That's
Subscribe,
all.
like.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you haven't watched, you should really be watching The Weekend Warriors on Amazon Prime, because if you like that kind of humor, you
Yeah.
definitely like The Weekend Warriors.
Yeah, you should subscribe, like, and comment.
Let me
That's
see what
funny.
else everybody else is saying.
Subscribe to his channel. He's funny.
Hectic says Hammer Hill and Full Metal Jacket.
Hamburger Hill.
Oh, Hamburger Hill. Not, oh,
Well,
he
he
didn't even type
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Best war movies: Red Dawn,
Ooh, Red Dawn's dope.
DJ Slim says Road Warrior. Wasn't
Yeah.
that in the 80s?
Yeah.
And what about James Bond, Moonraker? That's an oldie but goodie. The first movie I ever seen.
Ready?
Quarantine
Quarantine
Cody.
Cody says you're gonna shoot your eye out. Speaking of Thanksgiving movies. That was like Christmas
1984. The Schwarzenegger himself, Terminator.
The Terminator.
That's
Terminator.
a great ass fucking
Terminator.
movie.
What about Terminator 2? Was that the 90s?
I'll be back.
I think it was 90
Is that what
because
he
it was.
says, I'll be back? No, that's a different movie, right?
I don't know if he says it's the
Somebody,
first or the second
somebody
one.
fact check
The
us on that one.
helicopter?
Oh, Terminator 2. I want to say it's 90, 91, dude.
So they waited a long time.
Yeah,
They waited a long time to come back.
Because he did,
1984.
because he Arnold also did Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer.
He did a lot of movies,
He
man.
did Conan the Barbarian's 82, Conan the Destroyer.
Dude,
84.
Bill Burr has a great skit. One of his stand-up specials with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm not gonna do it because I'm not gonna ruin it. Just type it in later, you'll find
It's
it.
really good.
It's like he puts it so good, man.
He
It's
makes
Terminator.
It makes you
Okay.
like Arnold Schwarzenegger
Okay.
if you don't like him.
The first rated R movie I saw in the theater. Okay, my pop. My pop he used to take us to the theater a lot when we were kids. He'd get us on the weekend, take us to the theater because it would shut us up for like 2 hours. And he would do the normal thing he would do. He'd 15 minutes into it, he'd pass out, fall asleep. So we get to pick any movie we wanted. And I was like, yo, I want to see RoboCop. I want to see RoboCop. I want to see RoboCop. 1987, right? First rated R movie. First scene, the dude gets blasted all up, shot all up. My pop's sleeping. I'm scared as shit, dude. I'm like, but I want to see the movie, so I stuck through it. The movie's dope. RoboCop.
Is that the one when they stomp his eyes out with the high heels in the
Dude,
beginning of the
they
movie?
Oh, they
him up,
they
dude.
kill him basically.
They lace him up. Like, blah, 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 blah.
I see RoboCop. RoboCop.
RoboCop's a dope ass fucking movie, man.
Oh my god, they messed
that was
him up.
87. That
They
was my
messed
first.
him up so bad. All they use is the skin of his face.
Yo, that's what I'm saying, man.
Okay,
They
if that
fucked
doesn't
him
answer
up,
your question.
dude.
You don't remember RoboCop?
Oh my god, RoboCop.
Again, I'm a big action. Like this was a big one. This one was good.
Conan, yeah.
Kicking ass. Did he have a female partner too? I was like,
Labyrinth
oh
is
snap.
coming through.
Labyrinth,
in the chat.
yep.
Oh, that one was good.
Yeah.
Shout out to Hectic in the 978 in the chat. Subscribe to the channel.
88. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Bloodsport. Yeah, the whole
Bloodsport.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
White
The whole Jean-Claude Van Damme,
That
Steven
shit
Seagal
Oh,
takeover was
yeah.
crazy.
Right there too.
Oh yeah.
1988, Above the Law,
They
man.
killed, yeah,
Above the Law, that shit was dope.
Steven
Dude.
Seagal still be making
I always wanted
good
them to
movies.
fight.
He
I always
never
wanted them to
stopped.
fight.
Yeah, John Claude too.
You ever see Steven Seagal do karate for real? Load that up real quick.
Oh,
Oh,
the
shit.
split that
It's
he
so
be making.
bad.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's so
bad.
funny.
Oh,
Steven
I
Seagal was the man back in the
Oh,
day.
Steven Seagal. I'm thinking of Jean Claude.
Steven Seagal was the man back. John Claude was the man. Even
Yeah.
I know it's the 90s,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I remember his splits. That's
John
what I
Claude
remember.
Van Damme was
He
super
started
hot.
in the 80s.
He was super hot, like #1 star up until Double Impact.
Yeah.
After
yeah.
Double Impact, he started falling off. Then he played Street. He was in Street Fighter, and that was kind of like his. People thought he was coming back,
Yeah, yeah.
but he didn't
He
come
did.
back.
Yeah, no. 86, Sly Stallone. Cobra. Remember Cobra?
Cobra, someone said that in the chat. I
Yeah.
never saw that one. Hectic in the chat saying Dirty Harry.
Oh,
Here
good,
he
yeah,
goes.
yeah.
Mr. Steven
Oh,
Seagal
Young Guns.
and the karate.
88, remember Young Guns?
Oh, that
Billy
was good.
West
And they had
West,
Young Guns too.
Yeah, yeah,
That was
yeah.
also like the Brat Pack.
You got a
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
I think it's coming to you. It says
Let's
female
see.
physics question. Fave album. I'm assuming they're talking to you or she is asking. I don't
That's
know.
official, yo. Female physics.
Schwarzenegger,
question.
remember that one?
Fave album.
Commando?
I'm not sure. Like
Commando,
favorite album
85?
of the 80s.
What's your favorite album? Maybe
Indiana
just give us your
Jones
favorite
Raiders.
album. This is a new fan right here.
Ooh, I don't know. Again, I was hopped up on the Menudo, so you ain't, you know.
You got it.
for
You heard it
real.
here first.
Menudo!
All right, Joe, go ahead.
I ain't gonna front. Alright, I'm gonna bang out some last ones before I finish with my favorite ones. Escape from New York. Kurt Russell.
yeah.
That movie was
Very
dope.
good movie.
Beastmaster, 82. That movie was crazy. Over the Top, Sly Stallone, the arm wrestling movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
With his
Oh,
kid.
yeah.
That movie was dope.
Why was he arm wrestling though?
Yeah, yeah. Arm wrestling is.
Like, what was the
DJ Slim, I can't read your comment because I know we're going there.
What was the
so,
plot of that movie? Like, why did he
Um,
have to arm wrestle?
He was in competition. And,
Yeah, over the top. He had
Yeah,
like he was like this way and he was okay, but
As
he
soon, as soon as he flipped his hat around, you were like, "Oh shit! He's about to fuck this shit up, dude! Holy fuck!"
Big
Yeah.
Trouble Little China.
Somehow
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't see that movie, but I did see Big
Another
Trouble Little China.
another
That was Kurt Russell.
Schwarzenegger, Running Man. It was alright. Flash Gordon in '80. That was a good movie.
Oh, Flash Gordon.
I'm not talking about Flash Gordon.
I said
That
the other
was
one.
good.
This was a good. I said Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
That was good.
What are we on? What are we on exactly? We're on action.
Yeah, yeah.
Off the top.
'89. Batman. Michael Keaton.
Yeah, we have
Yes.
a Batman prop here,
Yeah.
don't we? We have something right here,
Yeah.
but behind
Michael
the
Keaton's the
behind the
man.
curtain.
Yeah, yeah.
Behind the Wizard of Oz came out in the 80s, right?
Crazy.
Big Trouble Little China in the
Yeah,
chat.
yeah. Untouchable is '87. Yeah, yeah.
You guys gotta slow down.
All right, we're good. I think we're good.
My three top maybe.
Yeah, let's
my
just do
top
these
three.
There's so many good
Do you have
ones.
one before Joe does his three top
No,
three? Off the top of your head, what's the biggest action movie of the 80s? Because he's going to have one. He'll start with that one. Go. Boom. What is it?
Oh, I forgot one.
I can't think of one. Oh, God, sorry. I don't know. Listen, I was on romantic comedies and all the shit that I was growing up in the 80s. You know, that's when you start your hormones.
All right, here we
so,
go then. Let's go, Joe.
I wasn't thinking action comedy, so.
It's okay. No, not action comedy. Action. Whatever. Here we go.
Action.
My
Sorry.
top three in no particular order.
Oh.
In no particular order. And they're all trilogies.
I thought of some now, but.
They're all trilogies. Okay, so obviously Star Wars.
Boom.
The first one, it came out in 77. A New
Yeah.
Hope. We can't count it, but the best one came out in 1980, your year, Empire Strikes Back, and it's the best sequel movie ever, and it's always compared to like it started a trend where if you're doing a trilogy, your second movie's supposed to be dark, like Empire Strikes Back. You know what I mean? Like you like the first movie, your hero wins. They go into this challenge and the hero wins. But the second one, they go into the challenge and they fail. They fail hard, just like Empire Strikes Back. They shit failed hard, dude. You know what I mean? And then the third one, Return of the Jedi, came out in '83, right here, Endor. Where we've been to Endor.
Humboldt County.
We've been to Endor. Where they triumph again. That's like that started that trend of trilogies where like. You know what I mean? People call it that,
Yeah.
like when you make your second one darker,
Yeah.
like a darker, like an ending where it's like you're at the end going, Jesus Christ! You're like you want your hero to win,
Oh, you know what?
and your
I
hero
thought-
doesn't win. You know what I mean? Like and like that was the biggest reveal of the time. Like people came out of the theater going, Holy fuck! Darth Vader
Dude, spoiler.
is Luke Skywalker's
Come
father.
on. I was going to
You know
watch
what I
it.
mean? But you know what I mean? Like that was the craziest shit back then. Like.
Yeah.
Like people didn't believe it so bad that George Lucas had people telling him like you have to do something in Return of the Jedi to make people believe that because people didn't believe it. People didn't believe that they thought it was like a whole scheme. Oh, Darth Vader's lying. There's no way that Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker. And then in Return of the Jedi, if you watch it, Yoda says it. He asks Yoda, he goes, "Is Darth Vader my father?" And he goes, oh, he told you, you know, he wasn't supposed to tell you, you know, you weren't supposed to learn it yet, you know, and you're supposed to
Wasn't
defeat
the
him.
time.
You were supposed to defeat him. They wanted him to defeat him and then learn it. You know what I mean? Hey, by the way, you just killed your pops. You know what I mean? But those are like some of the iconic movies.
Watch manners.
My second trilogy, these movies like this is the first.
Wait, hold on. Let's
You want to keep talking about stuff?
Yes,
Okay, yeah. Well, Return of the Jedi is the Ewoks.
Yeah, so Return of the Jedi was really
I hated that.
big to me in my childhood. Return of the Jedi because it was always on HBO when we had like the only channel the HBO. They always had Return of the Jedi.
Star Wars, man.
And we used to take those real thin metal plastic yellow bats, and those were lightsabers. And we always just fight each other.
Anything that was a stick was a lightsaber.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's all I really want to say about that. Was just like
it was cool going to Humboldt and seeing like where they filmed The Force Unleashed as a Star Wars junkie. You know what I mean?
Those trees are
But
fucking
you
huge.
could go on to the next one because you just made me think we could do a whole Star Wars.
But just
Yeah.
you look at that movie and you see those trees, you really need to go
That's like
and see the redwood trees because you cannot.
you can't compare.
They're not words. Like
Even
they're
pictures.
so huge. Like you.
Yeah.
It's like you could fit like 3 cars on the
Quarantine,
width.
Just the pictures. The pictures don't like when they say don't do it justice.
You're trying to forget.
The pictures don't.
Well, I
do it.
can't. I'm doing this right now, but you can go. But yeah, that
Yeah.
if you get the
Sorry,
opportunity
Max,
to, you should definitely.
Okay, my third trilogy.
Wait, what was the first one?
Star Wars.
So we're going third now?
No, sorry, my second.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful. They all came out in the 80s. Well, I don't count the fourth one. It's the first career I can remember going, I want to be this. the motherfucking archaeologist himself, motherfucking Indiana Jones, baby. Indiana Jones, motherfucker. I ain't gonna brag my cock.
Indiana Jones.
See, people argue because like Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is amazing. You know that shit came out in '81. Temples of Doom, which is it's hard to say because that's like I like to say that's my favorite because it's the more edgy. Came out in '84.
What's the one with
the Last Crusade where he with his father Sean Connery?
Sorry, what's the one when
that came out in '89?
What's the one with the alligators and they're walking over the bridge?
That's Temple of Doom.
Okay,
this one right here. That's right here.
Yeah, what one's that? What
that's
year?
the second one, '84.
All right, so that's the one I remember the most. As a child, that was the one.
That was the more edgy one because like the first one, it was like. It was he was doing the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah, I seen them all, but
but it was like religious, like Jesus religious type shit. And then the second one they did the Tuggy cult.
Tuggies?
That's what they called them. The Tuggies in the back.
Oh, like in Porky's.
Yeah, the Tuggy. But like people didn't really like it, but I really enjoyed that one. And then obviously the Last Crusade with Sean Connery was just the shit.
That's your favorite one?
I don't know. It's so hard to pick one because I can't go.
You don't like the Crystal Skull?
I can't. If I'm like, I want to watch Indiana Jones. I don't put in Temple of Doom. I don't put in I start with Raiders and I watch Temple of Doom, and then I watch Last Crusade. I don't bother with the Crystal Skull, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
The super long name of Shia LaBeouf.
If you've never seen South Park, talk about the Crystal Skull.
Holy shit! They pointed perfect. But that trilogy, I remember I want to be an archaeologist. I want to go on adventures and find cool objects and go. They belong in a museum, right. and then come back and teach hot chicks. And then they wrote "I love you" on their eyelids.
Oh, they're so sweet.
Yeah, they all wanted to bang Harrison Ford.
All right, before we move on, we got some movies in the chat that we talked about, but some of you guys have just tuned in. We have Outsiders. We have Beetlejuice. We talked about Beetlejuice.
Revolution for Terminator.
You can start with
Quarantine Cody says wiffle ball bat.
Yeah, he knows. He knows what the lightsaber was as a kid.
Princess Bride and Scarface. Stand by Me.
Hectic says Scarface. Ooh, Scarface was on my list. I just didn't say it before because none of the things he's going to talk about are on my list. So the only thing that was left that we didn't talk about was Scarface. We talked about E.T., Full Metal Jacket, Dirty Dancing, Top Gun. Yeah, that was left from my list.
Yeah, I was giving you that one.
So Willow was there. Never Ending Story. I never saw it.
Awesome.
Willow was there.
Check out Revolution in the chat. Go check out his new music
Val Kilmer,
video.
right, Willow?
Go check out his new music videos. It was. Really? I just realized that.
Says
Val Kilmer
wisely. What was in the video?
Val Kilmer was in Willow.
He was.
Oh, yeah.
You knew that?
Yeah. Val Kilmer's been in a lot of 80s movies. He was in. Remember that movie?
He's the Iceman.
Where they're all like super nerds and they go to the school and they make the
holy shit! I remember that. I do remember that. I don't remember the name.
With Val Kilmer and the guy from the Weird Science, the geeky guy from the shorter guy from the Weird Science. What is that called?
I don't remember that movie. I do remember that.
That was a good ass movie that they do they make the hallways full of ice and they ice skate down the hallways.
I do remember that.
I'm gonna check that out because it's gonna bother me, but you guys go ahead.
So you're watching Mind Your Manners, the podcast. Please like us on Facebook. And Instagram. Hit the like button on here. Push subscribe. Leave a comment if you're watching in the future.
Bell.
Right now you're watching in the live chat, so we just go live. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell if you want to make sure you get a notification every time we go on.
Absolutely. And
we'll shout you out if you have something to promote. We're not going to listen to no music.
Today we're sponsored by Green Thumb Gorillas.
But if you got something cool to say, we might put it up there.
Yeah, and also don't forget to like, subscribe, and connect with all of us on social media.
Yeah.
Indojo710, he's a super talented artist. Mr. DL with a Y, NYSTERDL, and Chef Tanya Nicole. Again, check out all of our other episodes as well as episodes of Medical Edibles. All right. What else?
Last one?
Hold on. Let's make sure we A Sea of Green on YouTube. Oh yeah, let me make sure we're still going over here.
Cody says A Sea of Green on YouTube. You can watch the full length.
I just want to say something to our regulars here. All right, so when coronavirus is over, we're gonna have a setup. We're gonna have the microphones, and we're gonna have screen sharing opportunity. We're still gonna have this, so we don't have to cut away all the time. But we can't have that because we need a producer behind the camera over here to control all that shit. So once coronavirus is over, we'll have that all set up. But right now, we'd rather not. We'd rather just do it and have fun.
We're just
They're
doing
not
it
doing it.
us.
Yeah, exactly.
We hope it's okay and you're still enjoying it.
Coronavirus.
Yeah,
We got one more coming in with Sea of Green. That's not an 80s movie, but it's pretty fucking good.
It's
The guys
not
that are in
from
it
a
are from the 80s.
ill-mannered
Yeah,
film.
the guys that are in it from the 80s. If you've never seen A Sea of Green, it's on this channel. It's
and it's free.
It's free in HD, but the
Free,
only thing you
free.
can't see if you want to buy the DVD. The DVD is $100. If you
No,
want
it's
to
not.
buy a DVD, it's free. You can watch it on YouTube right now. But if you want to buy a DVD, the only thing you're missing is nipples. That's it. The only thing you can't see on YouTube is the nips.
Nips.
So if you really want those nipples that bad, $100. Cash App and PayPal. And I'll send you the DVD.
Holy shit.
All right, we're
It's
going
not
to the
$100.
My last
It's $200.
trilogy?
Oh, because there's two girls, still $200.
Oh.
$200.
That's 4 nipples
It's 4 nips.
for $200. So you get two. You get
And
2
they're not
nipples for free there.
They're like
That's
nips.
4 nipples for $200.
You get two.
That's
two
$50
nipples.
a nipple. That's not shit.
That's a
Oh my
bargain,
God, I think
yes,
I might
I
raise the
know.
price. I think I'm gonna raise the price. But if you act right now, you can get the 4 nips
Four
for
nipples.
$50 of nip. All right, here we go. What's the next one? What do we want to? Hold on, we got some.
As much of a hardcore fan.
Don't say it yet. Sorry.
All right.
Let's get these chats.
Motherfucker.
Let's get these chats before
Let me
Please,
bang out.
please hold that thought.
Let me bang out the
Oh,
chat thing.
very good ones that we some of these we mentioned. So Hectic says Blue Lagoon, Lost Boys. We didn't say Blue Lagoon. That was a good one. Lost Boys, Dirty Dancing. Rev says the Lost Boys. Yep.
Lost Boys is down,
S
man.
official
Keep us
Yo
Sullivan, man. 24.
says he's already smiling. One of the best actors is Will Ferrell.
Is he? He's from the 80s because I'm sure he was born and lived it.
Yeah, I guess.
Did he
I,
make
just,
movies
I
in
don't
the
remember,
80s?
but he is a
He is a
hilarious
yeah,
actor. So I
yeah.
agree with you.
All right, now we're on it. Thanks for shouting out. The chat is still here. I'm just gonna make sure we can see you guys, and
You can see
we're
you.
good.
You can see us.
Oh, hold on.
Can
I
you
got-
see? Can you see?
You know me. I gotta always check.
Check it.
I keep checking because we don't have a producer, so I gotta keep checking
Check,
to
check,
make
1,
sure
2,
we're
1,
still
2.
on there.
Producers out.
And we're not.
producers do.
Good thing that.
So we got 10%. You got this?
My last one.
Last one. Here we go. Mind Your Manners podcast.
Like
Subscribe.
I was about to say, it may not be
Wrap it
like
up.
I'm an avid Star Wars fan.
Steerish?
Indiana Jones favorite shit. But
Okay.
if I'm gonna say 80s, it's got to be Back to the Future, man. If I think of 80s movie, and to me, that's all I watched was 85. The first one came out, and at the end it was like to be concluded. I was like, what? What? And then the second one came out, and they had the hoverboards. Like, what the fuck?
It said to be concluded.
And one of the first
At the end,
extra
and you know what the
scenes.
fucked up part about that? They had no intentions of making a second, but it was such a buzz.
They
They
made
were
so
like,
much money
we gotta make a
off of
second.
everything.
And this is what I was gonna say about it. I don't know if the third one gets a privilege to be talked about because it came out in 1990, but they filmed it back to back in 87 and 88. They filmed 2 and because they got greenlit because they were like, you're greenlit, and they did 2 and 3 back to back, and then they released 2 and then
Yeah.
3. But
All right,
It's
hold
funny
on.
how you
Before
said
we
that.
go-
honestly,
and
like
blanked out,
one is
but, like,
awesome,
yeah.
one is such a classic,
Yeah.
but 2 is like you wanted the future to be that flying cars, hoverboards, zip up jackets that heat them, cool themselves, shoes that tie themselves.
Cheers to
But, I
Quarantine
mean-
Cody taking a shot with us right now.
Kind of nice. We would be a lot fatter if we had all that shit. But I get why we don't have flying cars because there's enough car accidents now. Do you really want a car accident above you and then have the car come flying down?
Debris-
You're just
debris
walking
just
your dog.
Hectic says Once Upon a Time in America, Blade Runner.
America. Oh, Blade
we
Runner,
didn't see that
82.
one.
82
Aliens.
Blade
Aliens,
Runner.
Little Shop of Horror.
We said those,
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Harrison Ford.
DJ
Okay.
Slim says
Hold on,
four
hold on,
nipples
hold on.
for 200.
Say it again, man. What you
DJ
say?
Slim says 4 nipples for $200. That's a bargain.
It's a bargain, kid.
Facts. And Goonies, yeah, we said that.
And
That's
two of them
one
are
of my
pierced.
favorites.
Nipples, yeah, 2 of them are pierced, so that's
That's official, yo.
that's
Says
no
hashtag
taxes.
OnlyFans.
That's free. You get a free piercing.
Nipples and bitches.
Ain't
Yes,
nothing wrong with
Nipples
that.
and bitches, mind your manners. We got 1 thumbs down. Shout out to the thumbs downer.
Yay!
We like you. Boom, boom, just came in right now. Boom, boom.
We got 1 thumb up for you.
We got 1 thumb up. That's
You
funny. That's
you
good.
don't like it?
That's good, man. All right, so sorry, we'll get back to
The Back to the Future, man.
Back to the Future.
Such an
one-
awesome.
the
Like
one
those
with-
are great movies.
Oh, you were gonna say something, babe. Go ahead. Sorry,
No.
you were gonna say something. What's your Back to the Future?
No, like he got me. Like when you said it, I was like, oh, I don't know. But also like action, like Die Hard.
Die Hard's great.
Like
yeah.
definitely like whether
It
it's
reminds
like the
you,
series.
yeah.
Absolutely. I definitely thought of Indiana Jones, but I thought of Back to the Future more, just because it was more like adventure.
And it just reminds you of 80s for some reason.
Like all
Michael
the
J.
clothes.
Fox skateboarding around on that
Yeah.
big ass wide skateboard,
Yeah.
fucking with his tight
Yeah.
jeans and his Nikes on. You know what I mean? His
That was
bubble
the
vest.
second one, especially
The second one, yeah, these ones right here.
Yeah. Because the
With the
second
hoverboard, man. I
It's
want a
great.
hoverboard. Come on, man. Somebody.
So
make
that's
shit.
what that was my what I was gonna say. Back to the Future to me was just a hoverboard scene. I mean, I liked all the movies and everything, but when you talk about Back to the Future, that's what I think about is the hoverboard scene. I don't know, like as a kid, when I got my first skateboard, it was because of that movie.
Yep.
I got a big old fucking ugly skateboard too. It was like honestly, man,
But
my skateboard was like that thick.
Yeah.
my other one that I have is like the third really is, and I'm pretty sure it's the 80s series, is the Superman with Christopher Reeve.
See, the first one came out in '78.
Yeah.
But I think I'm pretty sure 2 and
But I
3.
was like,
I'm pretty sure
not
2 and 3
existing.
came out in the
I mean, it
80s.
was, but
And
it
4 too.
yeah.
2, 3, and 4.
So, like-
Reeve. Those were great movies though. That was the pinnacle of Superman. Like,
And
you
like
know
the
what I
big like
mean?
superhero movies, you know, like I was always into that. So like I love Christopher Reeve. I thought he was a very handsome man.
You got nothing for nothing for Back to the Future.
Holy shit! I
Yeah,
forgot
Back
one.
to the Future.
Yeah, so you got nothing to add to Back to the Future.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
I forgot
No,
about
that's fine.
one.
No, it was
I
great.
got-
Michael J. Fox, it was just fun.
I
The
forgot
past,
about
the
that one.
future. I think the
Oh.
second one was the
Yeah.
one that hit the
Well,
most
we should save it for something else.
because he went to the future.
We
So
like comedy.
that was like
Yeah,
interesting.
sure.
And then all like the Coke stuff. They had things that were from the 80s, but like
The
in
80s
a
nostalgia.
future
Yeah,
setting.
that was cool.
so.
I think this is it for the
The
80s.
the
then.
zip tied laces. I mean, I want.
We're wrapping it up.
I think this is it for the 80s. Hectic's talking about Spaceballs. We talking about that. Thrashing was big.
Bangles.
I think we did it, man. Mind your manners.
Yeah. Wrap it up.
Episode 9.
Don't
All
be a-
about the 80s part 2.
Thanks
Don't
for
be a fool.
joining
Wrap
us
your tool.
tonight.
It was cool to hang out with you guys. This was awesome.
Say yes to sex.
Yeah.
Say yes to condoms.
Yes. Don't
Wrap
be-
it up.
Wrap it up.
It's past. It's not 10 a.m. Oh, it is. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Oh, shit, my children are in my
I know
nutsack.
Heifer and me.
My children are in my nutsack.
Mind your manners podcast. We're out of here, man.